We're on.
Are we on? This thing on? Tap, tap. Okay.
Okay, how are we?
How are we
How's
doing?
everybody doing today?
Yes, mother, my eyes are okay. I was wearing the picture of me in the glasses is from last week.
You had a contact issue, nothing serious.
No, I didn't have a contact issue.
I think you couldn't wear your contacts for some reason.
No, I just felt like a change
okay,
that week.
all
Yeah, but
right.
this week we're back to our regularly scheduled program.
Got it.
With my eyes fully in sight. Yeah.
Hi,
Hello,
McKenna.
hello.
Hi, Shomik. Hi, Jeanette. How are we all feeling today?
Everyone here. Everyone's still with us after
Yes.
this very busy, eventful week that we had.
It really was quite the week.
It was something.
It was really quite the
All
week.
right, I'm posting on social media that we are live. Hello, JZJ, Alex,
Yes.
Matthew. Hey, Matt.
Hey,
Another
Matthew. We love as many Matthews as possible.
Carlo, Austin. Hello. Hi, Gay.
Hi, Gay to Austin.
Jessica,
Right back at you,
Nicole.
babe.
What's going on? It's our second week with the pink box.
Yes. We love a pink box.
And McKenna.
Love the
Sweet
fits. Oh, thank you.
Montrez.
Thank you. So kind.
Hello, everyone.
Montrez. But Daddy, I Love Him Supremacy. Absolutely.
I
What
mean,
a song.
Oh, listening to that a second time, I was just
I
like,
know.
I was like,
I missed
solidified.
some lyrics. I missed some
Solidified.
lyrics. I love it.
Yeah. All right. But, we'll be talking about the album once we start recording the podcast. But I just want to know how everyone's doing right now.
Yes.
Curls look great. Thank you. I agree. They're doing what they need to do today. Let's see what happens at the end of this listening.
Yeah,
Or this,
I know.
this live
This
stream.
live
It might be a
stream.
mess. All right. I'm gonna post this on my Instagram.
What are we getting for all 31? We are going to do another live stream tomorrow night. For
What
this.
time?
I don't know. What time are you available?
Whenever you're available.
Want to do 6:30?
6:30 p.m. Pacific time.
6:30 p.m. Pacific time.
We will be live streaming on Twitch the second half of what's it called? Not folklore.
the tortured poets department.
Guys, our brains are fried.
Absolutely, they are.
All right.
But yeah, we'll be live streaming that the second half, and also tomorrow during the day, the edited version of the first half is going to go up on YouTube for those of you that are not Patreon supporters and those of us, that weren't able to, get into the Twitch.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you're not on Patreon, we already have our reaction video
For the
up there
first
for the
disc
first
or
half.
whatever.
The
And
first
we
disc
were
/
smart enough when we were live to be like, she's doing something at 2 a.m. Eastern. We must get off the live before then.
Yes.
Because I can't.
If we had found that out live on camera, it would have been a complete disaster.
Because the thing is, everyone would be like, you guys got to do it. You got to react. And it's like,
I
no.
would have taken your new computer and smashed it.
It's
to
just like,
bits.
no. I was like, oh, no, we can't.
Oh no, sorry, gotta run. Bye.
Jeff, I'm glad the girlies love the album, not a zipper mouth. I mean, there are songs I will be returning to. Absolutely. I appreciate the lyricism. We'll talk about it on the podcast.
We'll talk about it on the podcast.
There are many good things about the album, even though 31 tracks is long.
There are like issues in general that
Yes.
not even like issues, just sort of just like we'll talk about it.
We will
It's hard
talk about
to
it.
explain the complex feelings around all of it. Was something wrong?
There's something wrong, but we'll see if it comes back to us.
Okay. All right, actually like the unhinged lyrics, but I thought the sound production was rather samey. She needs to ditch Jack Antonoff.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know about ditch completely because they are a lovely pair.
Yeah, they're a lovely pair.
How many times do people usually force themselves into listening to an album to get themselves to like it to only realize it's just not good? Actually, I find sometimes that, especially because, and we talk about this a lot, like sometimes I like an album more at first listen, especially when I'm with someone
I agree.
and when we're searching for like things that we like. And then I listen to it a second time and I'm just like, yeah, okay, this thing that I was really excited about before.
Right.
Is just fine.
Yes.
So it goes in both directions for me, honestly.
I agree with that. Not just say it's a bad album. I don't think it's bad. I think it is. It's just long.
No, the thing is, we've only
I'm
heard
going
half of the
it,
album,
and it's long. And
We've
I'm
only
just,
heard
but it's
half
like
of it.
the second half of it to me is daunting.
I'm horrified. I'm like
Right.
dreading
It's
the
just
second half,
daunting.
and I shouldn't be dreading something because I'm sure there are going to be lovely, like very good moments in the second half. But
Yes.
I'm just, I also know that like there's going to be some moments where I'm just like, did this need to be on here? You
Right.
know, so we'll get there when we get there.
Yes. Meredith says it's a lot to take in for sure.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the new Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class? I did see it.
Oh, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm
Pissed.
so sorry.
Pissed.
The album feels like a ranting all night on Twitter. That's funny. Smallest man who ever lived has one of her best bridges ever.
That whole song, I think, is quite the good one.
Yeah.
Maxwell, I still haven't listened to the second half either, so you're not alone. Well, I
listen
get it.
to it with us.
Exactly. Listen to it with us.
We'll be here for each other. Thank
We
you,
will.
Amy, is a masterpiece. Okay. Second half is better than the first. Don't worry.
Interesting.
Okay.
I mean, for me personally, I am not the biggest Folklore and Evermore stan. So I'm a little concerned because everyone's like, it's Folklore Part 2.
And it's like,
And it's
that's
like,
not a way to win us over, guys.
us.
That's not a way to win us over.
But I'm sure.
But the thing is, I don't really hear Folklore on this album, or at least the first half of the album.
right.
I really hear Speak Now meets Midnights. Like, that's kind of what I hear.
I hear that too.
People keep blaming Jack, like Taylor doesn't have final say what she puts out. Stop blaming Jack and blame Taylor.
Oh, yeah, he has some feelings.
Guys, we shouldn't blame. Like, there's nothing to like blame anyone for. It's just like no one's committed a crime here.
Right.
Like,
seems like the length is an attempt to game the charts on Spotify numbers, which, you know, Taylor would not be the first person to do that. Hi, Drake.
hello. I mean, they're only saying that because of the piano and Aaron's involved.
I love her with a piano.
With the piano, I mean LOML.
Oh,
Beautiful.
very good.
Eternal Sunshine, Cowboy Carter, and Torture Poets all lived up to the hype.
Oh, I'm glad Tyler's happy. Tyler's having a great year.
Folklore and Evermore are my favorite albums from her, and it's probably going to stay that way. The length is definitely a way to game the system. I realized I prefer Aaron produced songs over Jackson. Yes, there are lots of songs in that first half where I found out Aaron was involved with, and I was just like, I love this
And
song.
he's involved in But Daddy I Love Him, so how mad can I be?
mean, thank you,
that
Aaron.
is a Speak Now track.
I know. Zaddy, I love him.
Oh,
It's the
Maxwell
closest
agrees.
We'll ever get to a Speak Now song. Yeah.
Which we love Speak Now.
She kept calling Joe broke and Travis.
I mean, how many Travis moments were there? I thought it was just The Alchemist, right?
Well, the second half, it seems like, are Midnight's first 3 tracks would have made highest charting album. 31 is not for System Girls.
But it's still, you know, if the album was 11 tracks long, it would, you know, have fewer streams. That's just true.
It's true.
And I think that's okay to say.
It is what it is. I love Taylor, but the arpeggiated synth,
Arpeggiated
synth that's got to fucking go. Jack really did not contribute to the album at all. Where would you rank the album in her discography?
Above Midnight's, Evermore, Folklore, and Reputation, for sure.
In a positive way, but Daddy is that girl. I know, yeah. Didn't someone else just release an album with 4 less songs and it was praised for bring back full-length projects?
Well, a lot of those songs are interludes, Alex. So that's the difference.
Yeah, and it really does make a difference.
It does. And we did say that album's long.
That album is long.
Too. Solo London we were very into.
They're not lying to you. The second half is very folklore, especially second half. Okay, guys, in the second half, is there a lot of echo on the production of the vocals?
Yes.
Let us know that.
That's our big issue about folklore. Yeah, we're not folklore people. You know, good luck with Willow.
Good luck with that.
Whatever.
Willow was Evermore.
Oh, what was the single off of Folklore?
Oh, Cardigan.
Cardigan.
Honestly, though, I'd put Willow and Cardigan over Fortnite in terms of leading singles.
Fortnite is odd.
Fortnite is just kind of like, okay, this is a song.
It's an interesting choice.
Yeah. The Midnight's Low Reputation debut.
No echo, great.
No echo. Okay, good.
That's all we really
Here's
want.
the thing, like, even if like a song by Taylor isn't like the greatest, like melodically or like lyric wise or whatever, if she's right in your ear, I'm connected to the song more.
Totally.
Like,
I agree with you.
For some reason, like I just connect with her more when there's not an echo.
I know. 31 backwards is 13. That's the first thing Jackson said when I told him that it was 31.
Yeah.
It's just like wild.
Oh, come on. I definitely like it better than Midnight's, but if she wins Album of the Year again for this one, then it's going to be a mess.
I mean,
I don't foresee that. I think she's getting quite a bit of pushback.
Yeah.
For this.
I would be surprised.
I don't know if I'd call it pushback. I would say, like, but people are kind of just like, okay, Taylor.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Taylor doesn't need to take a break, and if the Swifties come after me, that's fine. I also remember the Swifties having a lot to say about Cowboy Carter, lengthy tracks only to get their favies and having more. I like Torture Poets Department fine. I need more listens to decide. Yeah,
right.
I'd like to
which
listen
makes
to
sense. It's a lot of music to take in, like have an opinion about. immediately, which I'm glad is another reason I'm glad we stopped when we
Yes,
did.
exactly. Because we did all 31 tracks at once. It would just be like, I don't know what I'm listening to anymore.
Right.
I'm so in the middle of the ocean.
Right. It would be
like,
overwhelming.
Yeah. I could be listening to like the greatest song on the planet and I would be unfazed because I'd be so tired.
And wait, Austin, I saw you said you ranked it and where you ranked it in her discography. Would you rank it below her debut is my question for you. Because Austin is a resident Swiftie, legendary patron.
Yes.
And it's a question I have.
I'm so sorry, Swifties. I tried so hard to like this album, but I cannot get through the first 2 songs. Kind of get spark notes of the highlights.
But Daddy, I love him.
Honestly, like the Isaac, the album starts a little weakish to me. I wouldn't really call it like weakish, but I would say the better songs I think are once we get to the middle through to the end.
I agree.
As far as the beginning songs, I think My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys is my favorite out of the first 4 tracks.
For sure.
But once we get to like So Long London, I'm like, oh, I'm warming up. And then But Daddy, I Love Him, I'm like, oh, we're on the ride. Let's go.
Question for Matt P. Can you make it so when we watch a replay of the podcast on here on YouTube that we can see the live comments? I think you can. Well, you can see it in the box, right?
Yeah, you can see in the box. I think if you watch it on your desktop, you can see the.
Oh, you can actually see
it on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't on your phone. I don't know.
Got it.
How
Interesting.
that is, but it is what it is.
There you go.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's half of the reason for the nice pink box you're looking at.
Yeah. I can do it with a broken heart. Was a highlight for me. Yeah, I'm a folklore girly, and it's probably one of my faves. Toys is a standout for me. Toys is the one that I woke up the next 2 days singing in my head. So I think that says something.
Yes.
Watching different reactions online has really helped me digest this massive volume of music.
Oh, that's good.
Guilty as Sin is so good. That's one that definitely like has risen for me. The song I'm Gonna Get You Back on the second half of Torture Poets have people saying it has similar title and concept to Get Him Back by Olivia. Oh,
interesting. Okay. You can see it on your phone. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart was giving Paramore After Laughter, and I'm obsessed with it. Which, like, you know how much I love After Laughter.
Oh, it's great.
What an
great
album.
Yeah. Who's Afraid of Little Me is unfortunately the best song ever created.
That's funny.
This album will get the red treatment at the Grammys, I fear. Yes, Guilty as Sin is my favorite. Taylor made this album for herself, not the fans. I think she also made Folklore and Evermore together, total 31 tracks because 13 backwards, and also because Evermore was right before her 31st birthday. Okay. People really hated the Charlie Puth in 18. I think the Charlie Puth lyric is funny. I think it's a fun like detail. I don't know.
Grace, a replay of the podcast or a replay like on Patreon? The podcast has the comments, right? And they both have the comments. The box is going to be there on your replays.
Yeah, the comments, the live stream comments are in the replay. But if you watch it on desktop, it's both on the screen and on the side.
Yeah.
I've seen other videos have it. I don't know.
No, I'm clicking all the right buttons.
Oh,
no one else is done yet.
Torture Poets Department is already album of the year. No one can say otherwise.
Oh, I think people could say that.
I think people can say otherwise.
I think that people. There have been a lot of great albums that have come out already.
Sure, yeah. I was watching the second half through a reaction channel, and after 3 songs, I clocked out. I just can't. But Daddy, I Love Him is a bomb, good and kind.
We declared Chapel Roan should be a bigger artist, would have gagged it. That would be very good. You know, we're very big Chapel people here.
I saw a post today that was like, I'm going to tell everyone this is Chapel Roan, and it is Angela Lansbury in the musical Dear World, which is a 1969 musical. And I'm just like, and it's literally Chapel, because as Chapel Roan has been happening, I'm just like, this looks exactly like someone, and I can't put my finger on it. And people were like, oh, Betty Davis and whatever happened to Baby Jane, and I'm like, a little bit, but just the makeup and everything. Right. But then when this guy posted Angela Lansbury in Dear World, I was like, yes, because it's red hair, like the pale makeup and everything. I'm like, yes, finally, it like has come to me.
Totally,
what this is reminding me of.
I love it. Charlie Puth lyric is cute, even though I disagree. We declared 2Gay Match to be a bigger podcast. Yes.
Thank you. Maybe. Oh, what if she says? What if the thing is like she's gonna be putting out trillions of songs in the future of her career. 2Gay Matt's got to make it into a lyric at some point.
I mean,
she'll be like, "You're more annoying than 2Gay Matt."
I was gonna say if it is, it's gonna be negative. So I don't know if we want Taylor. That. Do you think Sabrina or Chapel will have albums soon following their singles? I hope so.
Hope so.
I hope so. Okay, people, I love everyone and their enthusiasm, but we must stop saying the same things over and over.
You know what? I know this will be an unpopular opinion, but when I listen to Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, I think about how the lyrics could describe Britney Spears' life and what was said in her autobiography.
I could see that. I think the Charlie Puth lyric was meant to be demeaning. I think Charlie Puth has had some interactions or like vaguely dated Selena Gomez in a way, and Selena Gomez and Taylor are close, so maybe we're anti. I don't know what it is.
But she's complimenting him. She thinks he should be a bigger artist.
Yeah, that's what she and Maddie Healy think.
Look, Taylor Swift loves details, and I imagine maybe they did talk about it that night.
I'm sure.
And I think I can picture this conversation.
Yes.
She's painting a picture.
I've liked many Charlie Puth songs.
It's the same as what's it called? Sings the song Satellites. We reviewed her once.
Phoebe Bridgers.
And the one song where she's just like, we both hated the song Tears in Heaven. Like,
but it was sad that his kid died. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, but it's sad because it's like a lyric like that. It's like this is describing a detail of that night.
Jeffrey, I see your comment. Do clean. That was quite the night as well. That was from when we were doing our 1989 reactions.
Do clean.
Someone was just really wanting.
Who was that person? What was that person?
I don't remember their name, but they really wanted us to. We were going to get to clean.
We were going to
was 13th on the list.
I know. People sound like they've never listened to music before. Charlie P is getting a massive boost. I mean, nice. Talented guy.
Great.
Who's Afraid of Little Me with the belty 1989 vocals. Like, I wanted more of that. Guilty as Sin is amazing. Charlie Puth lyric is meant to go along with the idea that they aren't famous poets. People need to not take lyrics out of context. Who's not a famous poet?
Did you see Civil War this weekend?
I did, yes. We'll talk about it.
Oh, good.
On the podcast.
All right. Hope it gave you some moments. Are you bros
gonna play Grand?
Yeah, bro. I fucking love GTA.
I saw that lyric. Because that's in the second half.
Oh,
I think.
okay.
And I saw people posting that lyric, and I'm like, that lyric's funny. I'm like, that lyric's funny. Come on, I don't know. We declare Devo should win Best Picture is what she meant to say. Yes,
she
Declan.
She did mean that.
Harper was so funny.
You know what? And I'm with her. I fucking love Clean. You know how I feel about that song. You know how I feel about Imogen Heap.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I saw Abigail, and I don't know my opinion. Okay.
Well, apparently our stream had an ad for Abigail on the Twitch the other day, which is funny.
Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed it. If they
saw.
I think it's doing relatively well. Do you like when albums are local releases where you can read people's thoughts?
I don't really. I mean, I don't know that I super care about whether something has come out in a different country. It would annoy me if it was coming out at different times in America, but luckily that hasn't happened.
Okay.
There was a rumor that was going to happen for Cowboy Carter, and that would have annoyed me. But yeah, that didn't happen.
She made this album for herself. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Truly okay.
Truly, like, okay.
That I have nothing to say to that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. I love you, Declan. Yeah.
Yeah, we love Declan.
Anthology should have been a separate surprise album later instead, not a separate whole album. I don't know. I don't know what it should have been happened, but
it should have been happened.
I don't know what should have been happened.
I mean, we'll listen to it and we'll see our feelings and what they are. But after all this Taylor talk now, I need a Mariah album. I know. I miss Mariah too.
I mean, we need albums for the second half of the year.
That's the thing, because post Billy, we'll be able to rest a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about that.
Finally listen to the rise and fall of Midwest Princess, and oh my God, I've been missing on so much. It's insanely good, and it's wild that it took me this long to come around. My favorite lyric was, what if he's written mine on his upper thigh, only in my mind? Yeah. From Guilty as Sin.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That song I don't remember it very well. And I haven't actually listened to the album again since our live stream.
Okay, I only got to listen to it once since our live stream. Yeah. So she's saying she's mainstream because she likes Charlie Puth rather than a sophisticated poet who would like real poets.
Mariah bringing out Tyra Banks and Heidi Klum on stage instead of her glam squad was very cute. I agree. That was adorable. She did that in Vegas this weekend.
Did you see the Spice Girls reunion and the pick of Mel B awkwardly body language with the group photo? Yeah, Spice Girls. I don't know what picture you're talking about, but I'm sure they all look great.
Is Gaga releasing an album this year? I could see it.
All right.
I could see it.
Did you react to the Fortnite music video?
No.
Did you watch it?
No. Did you?
No.
No.
No. We are so tired, guys. I heard someone on TikTok say that when stans say an artist made this for themselves, they low-key hate the album. So every time I see that,
That's funny.
oh.
Will we react to the music video? Probably not.
Wait, did you guys react to it yet? Like the full album?
The first part of the album, yeah, it'll be up on YouTube tomorrow, and then the second part we're going to live stream on Twitch again tomorrow night, and then put it up at least partially on YouTube, and then fully on Patreon. Yes.
Yeah. And the first half is also on Patreon right now.
Yeah.
So Post Malone's feature on CC was 10 times better. Cowboy Carter, okay. He could have been replaced with a studio singer on Fortnite. Wasted opportunity. Interesting.
Okay. How's the live show prep going? It's going well. Thank you so much. We have a whole run of show. We're going to be doing this podcast recording live.
Yeah, so if anyone is in the LA or Southern California area, get your tickets to our live show May 4th.
Yes, you can find links in all of our social media. It's an Eventbrite link. It'll be 7:30 p.m. at May 4th at the Lyric Hyperion. You're going to have so much fun. We're going to do a lot of shit that we can't do on this podcast in this format.
There's going to be audience interaction.
Yes, yes. There'll be a lot of
opinions. I guess we're interacting with all y'all now. True. But it's not the same as like in person with the people.
Absolutely.
We need to do a wellness check on Matt Healy. I would go into the witness protection program. Oh. Mm-hmm. Hi, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan. Thank you for coming to Alive.
I missed everything related to Taylor, which is a blessing. Well, we're going to talk about her when we start recording the actual podcast. So buckle up.
True.
Tomorrow night plans are made. Yes, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We're reacting to the second half of Tortured Poets Department.
Isaac's going to be at the live show. Don't you guys want to hang out with Isaac?
Don't you want to hang out with Isaac? We love Isaac.
We're going to see him at the live show, and we hope to see you all.
Love David Beckham. Always came through with those Spice Girls Fun Time video.
Palmer, do you have any birthday plans coming up? Mine's coming up on the 26th, and I'm trying to plan what to do. I need to actually make serious plans. I'm hoping to do something on Saturday. I would still like to go see Challengers in IMAX. I still think that's the first IMAX film I'd like to see. And and then maybe just have people over to my house on Saturday. It's a busy time for us, so I don't want to do anything too aggressive, you know?
Yeah, my mom's coming into town.
Oh, yes. When does she get here?
Next Monday.
Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be so much fun. Matty Healy. We don't claim him as a Matt. That's true. Only certain people can be Matt.
Are you guys going to have a live on Billy's upcoming album? We are, but it is going to be like a day late just because I fly back. I'm going out of town and I'm flying back in the night that the album drops. So that'll be a day
the
late.
Day after.
But we'll be doing it.
Audience interaction, not me already getting anxiety. No, it'll be like, I'm going to send you a picture and you're going to have to vote for who's right in an argument between me and Matt Steele. Spoiler, I'm right. So you can just save the image that says I'm right, hold it up with your phone, and be like, Matt Palmer, absolutely correct.
Fortnite is so much better on 1.25 speed on YouTube, just saying.
That's funny.
Okay. IMAX at City Walk is the best one. Make sure to do that.
Ooh.
I heard somebody say the tracks to Billy's album leaked.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's the track list?
Oh, if it's the track list, that's fine. But if it's the actual tracks, that's weeks away.
Yeah, because wasn't she like, fuck you, New York Times or something?
It was Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone.
I leaked it.
New York Times, Rolling Stone. Do you guys hear Cyndi Lauper time after time in the title track of
what?
Tortured Poets?
If so, I didn't hear it.
Hello, Moon River.
Hi, Moon River and me. I hope you're doing well.
Hello, beautiful Moon River and me.
I know. Looking gorge. Everybody here looks gorge.
Everybody here looks their best.
It's true.
Everybody, it's like they dressed up for the occasion. Okay.
I want to make sure we didn't miss any chats. Oh,
okay.
I feel like, it's been an aggressive day.
It's been a very aggressive
week. A good week.
A good week. A very, very good week. But like,
aggressive.
We're tired.
Should we get started?
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to insert an ad. Maybe some of you will see it. Maybe some of you won't.
We're going to slip that in there.
Yeah. Okay. So some people are going to see it. Some people won't.
And don't feel bad if you don't
Don't feel bad if you don't see it.
Actually, they're probably thrilled they don't see it.
I know.
Whatever.
I would rather you did see it. The production of the title track sounds a little like Time After Time. Interesting. I need to re-listen to Time After Time. That's never been my... I don't know. I don't listen to a lot of Cyndi Lauper in my day. Maybe one day.
One day when she drops a new album this year, because that's what everyone's doing. We'll do a live stream listening party for it.
For what?
Cyndi Lauper's new album.
I don't know. I'm not positive about it. How homophobic I got the ad this time. Yes. Good.
Okay.
We want people to get the ads.
We like ads. Y'all don't want to be bothered today.
We can be bothered, but
bother us. Go ahead. We're here.
You can have feelings, and we'll give our feelings right back.
We're here to be bothered.
The beauty of two gay mats is we have feelings, and they're gonna come out.
No, well, actually, like our bone structure is the beauty of two gay mats.
Sure.
That's the number one beauty of two gay mats.
But number two.
I mean, look.
All right, you're giving. All right, beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. Are we ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Ooh.
Hello.
Gotta breathe. My heart is still like pounding from exhaustion after this entire week.
Yes.
Matt Palmer, how are you holding up after Taylor Swift tried to kill us?
I mean, she really did. And I'm still coming out of a stupor, like a haze, a lavender haze, maybe.
No, that's an old era. Not that old. It was only a year and a half ago, but still old era.
An old era. I just, again, am thanking my lucky stars that before we logged off of the live stream in which we were listening to the new Taylor album, it was before she had announced that it was a double album and a second disc had been released, because you know what? We can't listen to 31 tracks in a row.
No, we can't.
And come up with opinions. I would have been so upset. So we're going to do that maybe tomorrow night, Monday night. If you're listening to this on Monday, we're going to do it that night on Twitch. And I just needed that break from Taylor so I can come back with fresh eyes and a fresh heart.
And your eyes look very fresh.
Is
it a cream that you're using?
No, I just slept really well last night.
Oh, good for you.
Which we love.
That's beautiful. Look at us sleeping well.
We love sleep.
We love
slap. Oh, God.
Okay, you go.
Okay. Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Two Gay Mats, the podcast. It's Matt Palmer.
And it's Matt Steele.
And we are back again, another week. And it's been a big one for us.
It's not just another week.
Yes.
It's like, it's a Taylor week.
It's a Taylor week.
Coming shortly after a Beyonce week. Let's not forget that week.
And these ladies, when they come back into our lives, we're of course happy to have them, but they really do suck all the air out of the room.
Well, the thing is, like, the exhaustion of it all isn't just like, because like it's not just Taylor week, because like we still have not heard the whole album yet. We know that there is another full-length album that we are about to listen to, because we have not listened to the second half of the Tortured Poets department yet, because after we listened to the whole thing on the live stream, we were happy because we liked the album and everything, and right as I was about to go, Matt Palmer just goes, "Oh no." And I'm like, "Girl, what? How many new tracks has she dropped?" And I'm expecting him to go like 6, which is a horrifying number, like, because that's what was the number for Midnight's the 3 a.m. tracks or whatever, and that was still a lot, and he was just like, "It's a double album." And I'm like, "What's the other half?" And he's just like, 15.
And it's just
because when you're 15,
what a song.
I mean,
and look, I love that everyone can express. I think expressing is a beautiful thing, but part of me is like, I've never been one for especially pop music double album of new material. I just have yet to hear one that I've really felt, oh, wow, this was all necessary.
This needed to be a double album, yeah.
This needed to be, oh, sorry, I think my Echo is talking to us, but hopefully she's done. Echo?
Stop. Right.
Okay, I think she's done. Sorry.
Thank you very much. Oh. Spice Girls reunion this week. Thank you. That's what I did this week. I watched that video on loop that David Beckham posted. Matt Palmer, before we start talking about the Tortured Poets department for about an hour, how was the rest of your week outside of Taylor Swift? What did you do? Who did you see?
The rest of the week was very good. I went Friday night. We went up and went to Santa Barbara to visit some friends of ours and their child, who is now 13. It was in a production of The Little Mermaid at his school. He played Grimsby, and so we were there to support. We slept overnight there and then drove back to our place Saturday. So it was like a quick 24-hour trip. But Santa Barbara is not a world away. No. So it was fun to do just that. And then today I woke up and I decided, you know what I want to do? Fucking nothing. And so what did I do? I went on a walk. I talked to my mom on the phone. I put together my new Nespresso machine that I had bought myself for my birthday, which is upcoming.
What's an Nespresso?
It's like a coffee maker, but one of the pod ones. And it it's a great
Why do they call it a Nespresso?
Well, they have to come up with a name, and I think it might be by Nestle, but it's like an espresso with some
Nestle espresso.
And then espresso. That's what I think.
Okay,
but yes, it's a very great machine that I'm excited to get to know and learn about. I want to be able to make very good quality mocha latte at my house. And so that's the goal. And I tried it today. I think I did okay, but I can do better. I feel like I'm only going up from here from my like Nespresso creations. So then after that, I didn't really sit on the couch, did very little, took a shower, cleaned up my bedroom, cleaned up the apartment a bit. And now I'm on recording the podcast with you.
That's beautiful.
And Matt Steele, what did you do this week?
I had a very busy week. So Monday, one of my best friends from college, Jen, was in town, and she lives in Canada. She lives in Vancouver, and she had a baby a little over a year ago.
Congratulations.
Named Orion, and I never got to meet him yet because I haven't seen her since. She was finally in town, and so I went to my friend Megan's, who also has an almost 1-year-old, and then my other like best friend from college, Lauren. She has baby Harrison, who's about 5 months old now, and so all the 3 babies finally got to meet each other because like they were very much like a trio in college and everything, and so they all had boys like around the same time, and so all the little baby boys got to see each other, and of course, you know, I was also like somewhat of the baby boy there as well because I was the 3rd youngest boy in the room out of 5 guys.
Okay,
but I'm still gonna count it.
I think we're really grasping at straws for like your youth here.
As long as I'm not the oldest in the room, I'm having a great time. And so then, of course, I've been talking with one of my other good friends, Laura from college, and she's helping me produce my next feature, and so did a lot of like editing for that script. These like 2 days out of this week, and then I did the Taylor listening party, which was an event in itself, which we'll talk about more.
Absolutely was.
And then I don't know. I worked. I wrote. To work today. I had like a near-death experience.
Wait, what happened to you?
Okay, so picture this: we're setting up the restaurant. And my coworker Tristan lifts up this like clear circular thing that looks like a bracelet, a very modern bracelet. And he's like, Matt, look at this. This would look beautiful on you. And so I was like, ooh. And so I grabbed it, shoved my hand through it, and lifted it all the way up far as it could go up my arm. And I was like, look how skinny my arm is. Oh my God, look at me. And then I saw my coworker Tristan and Kim's faces just drop. And I'm like, why does this hurt? It wasn't a bracelet. One of our drinking glasses broke in a full circle, and I had it lifted, and it was the like top of the glass that like broke in like a perfect circle, so it looked like a bracelet. And so I lifted it all the way up my arm.
It didn't scratch you, did it?
Well, no, because I lifted it up, and luckily, the part that you drink, the soft edge of the glass, like was facing upwards, so it slipped up easily. But then I was like, how do I get this
That's the question.
off? And so I spent like 35 minutes in the office of the restaurant. Just slowly working it down, and the entire time I'm feeling it just like scrape my arm and essentially like start to like shave off my arm hairs. Also, my arm is like losing circulation at this point, so it's like swelling, which is hard. And of course, you know, my bulging muscles were just like keeping it on there, you know. And so, but eventually I got it all. It was like we were trying to figure out like, do we need to get like a glass cutter? But then I was like, no, that actually like scares me. Like, so yeah, it was a good time. But I eventually got it off. It just like kept pushing on my skin, so it slipped down little by little, inch by inch.
So did we learn not to put things on our arms and body without double checking that it's not a broken glass?
I thought it was a bracelet, guys.
I understand that, but like that's worrying to me, and I hope it doesn't happen again.
I thought it was a bracelet that like a customer left like by accident, and you know, whatever. It looked great on me.
I'm sure it did.
We were almost at a point where I was like, well, this is just a permanent fixture on my body, and this will be here forever, so I'm glad it looks good on me. But yeah, I'm luckily I did not draw blood in the slightest, but boy, did it scratch coming down. Yeah, I can show you pictures of it. It was a good time.
I am very happy that you are safe and okay, and that nothing bad happened to you, because that does not sound fun in the slightest.
Yeah, but you know what? Listen, I almost died today, but not as hard as I almost died when you told me that Taylor Swift dropped a double album and that there were 15 more tracks that we have to listen to.
Yes, so we're going to listen to those 15 tracks tomorrow night on Twitch at 6:30 p.m. Pacific if you're available then. But we're ready to talk about Taylor's album, which came out this past Friday, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Pacific. It is projected to sell 2 million copies in its first week. It is, you know, initially that first disc was 16 tracks, but the anthology she came out with at 2 a.m. Eastern time.
It sure was. So all those kids were just like, hey, mommy, daddy, wake up and give me your credit card number so I can go online and buy this album again.
Right. And it's like, oh, and I can't wait to stream all of these 31 tracks. And it's like, look, I love everybody, and I think everyone should make whatever creative decision they want to make. I do think that pop music has to be exceptionally good if you're going to say I'm releasing a double disc album. And in my lifetime, I can think of very few albums that fall into the category of like, this needed to be the length that was when we have to separate things into 2 discs. That includes someone, we're actually talking about it on the Discord today, and someone mentioned Speaker Box The Love Below, that Outkast album, which essentially is 2 solo albums back to back from Big Boy and Andre 3000. But that's a great example of one that's like, okay, both sides of this were necessary. It was important to have that. And to me, just from my lived experience of listening to pop girl music since I was a child, I have yet
dedicating your life
dedicating my life to it.
Like,
I have yet to hear an album by one of my favorite artists that I was like, that is 2 discs, and I'm like, this needed to be this long. Cough, cough. Sasha Fierce. We haven't heard disc 2. But I feel like what always happens is like, but couldn't you have edited this down into a really great 14-track album instead of having 2 separate discs?
Matt Palmer, couldn't you have edited this down is essentially what we have been asking Taylor Swift since 2020. I find it just so funny. Because here's the thing, like, I like the first half that we listened to of the Tortured Poets Department, I liked a lot. I really enjoyed listening to it. I want to say, like, I enjoyed this album so much more than Folklore Evermore or even Midnight.
I agree.
And even though, like, we've been talking about, like, I don't know if there's necessarily a high on Torture Poets Department, or at least the first half, that goes as high as our favorite song on Midnight, which is You're on Your Own Kid. But I think that Torture Poets Department, at least the first half, that's literally all I'm going to be saying every single time I say the name of the album, is like, in parentheses, at least the first half. The thing is with that album, more so than like Midnights or Folklore Evermore, I'm like happy that it at least feels like there is a need to put this album out, because Folklore Evermore, like, as lovely as it is, like, we're telling made up stories. These are nice. And Midnights, I think everyone can kind of agree, there wasn't an urgency to put this album out. Whereas Tortured Poets Department, what I can appreciate is like, these things are about like really, really real current things happening to her at the moment. These relationships that she is coming out of, or like jumping into, or that she, had, like, it feels really, really urgent that these songs, even if maybe there's one or two that like aren't my favorite, there's at least an urgency to this album. So that is what I appreciate a lot about at least the first half of the Tortured Poets Department.
I agree. I feel like it definitely is ringing true in a way that, like, the Speak Nows, the Reds, her more lyrically, I don't know. We always said we like it when Taylor Swift has stakes. Yes. Even if the stakes are Jake Gyllenhaal didn't come to my birthday party, like, that's a stake.
Those are fucking stakes. When you're 21, those are stakes.
And I felt like for the last few records, we were not getting those. So I agree. That is one thing I very much do enjoy about this album. But again, I will see if my opinion changes next week after we've heard the anthology half in full. But I just cannot imagine needing to hear 31 songs.
Yeah, and I think it's so interesting that now people are like, Taylor Swift needs to learn how to edit. She needs to learn how to edit. She needs to learn how to edit. When, guys, the 2 Gay Mats since Folklore and Evermore came out, we were just like, she could edit this. She could edit this. She's releasing so much. Right. She's just like inundating us with music. And some of it is so, so, so great. But the greatness of some of the great tracks just starts to feel like watered down and forgotten once you're in this giant ocean of just like, I don't know how you can listen to like a 2.5-hour album and like really remember the great stuff, because at the end of this 31-track album, you're kind of just like, what did I just listen to? There was so much.
Yes,
like, it becomes overwhelming. And like listening to Beyonce's Cowboy Carter, we were kind of just like, oh, there could have been a little bit of editing here.
Yeah, totally.
I think, but now I'm just like, oh, such a brisk walk through the woods that Cowboy Carter album is, So I don't know, but have you listened to the album in full again since our listening party?
The Taylor Swift album?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Okay, I've listened to it once more again, just because I know that there's going to be 15 more tracks
Yes.
that we're going to listen to tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so it all just feels so daunting. I went from really liking this album and enjoying it to like still, at least the first half, to you know, still liking it, but because I know that there's a daunting task ahead of me, I'm like scared to listen to it again.
That's why I'm taking a break. It's
Yeah.
like I'll finish the album when, you know, we listen to it tomorrow, and then maybe I will get into listening to the whole thing again. But more likely, I will create a playlist of my favorite songs.
The favorite
and,
tracks.
Like, that'll be my tortured poets department.
Sure.
You know?
And I that's the thing, like you have to just like pick your favorite Taylor songs and make it your own album, makeshift album.
Right.
I just think, you know, my sort of like, you know, what's it called? Hindsight's 2020. I'm like, okay, had she released Folklore and Evermore as one album, like made it like a 11, 12 track album of the best stuff from Folklore, best stuff from Evermore, released that in maybe 2021.
Right.
And then like that would have been a good project on its own. And then had she just like waited a little bit, taken the best tracks from Midnight's, the best tracks from the first half of Tortured Poets Department, and the best tracks from the second half of Tortured Poets Department, and made that just like a really great 15-track album, like in itself. Like,
yes.
I would be doing cartwheels.
I agree.
I'd be like, wow, this is such a great body of work.
Right.
And, you know, and it's not to say that like there isn't so much. It's like, I feel so weird because like when you like go online and like criticize Taylor Swift, like some people like come at you like you're criticizing her as a person, and it's like, no, guys, like she's just a girl who writes songs. She's just a really good artist. Like,
every artist is allowed to be criticized.
Yes.
And to, like, we are people, again, I will always say, I bought the fucking pizza box. I bought the red pizza box. I have loved this girl. No one is beyond criticism. That is the point of art, is sometimes it gets criticized, and like that's okay. It's not saying she is unworthy. It's not saying that like I don't think she should be successful, or that I think she's not a hard worker. I just think she'd be hitting a higher batting average if she learned to edit. Like you said, like you just even in just the first half, you kind of forget how high the highs are because it's long, and you know that there are 15 more tracks waiting for you. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
And she is someone who can like really like, if she releases just the best, it's like, oh my God, this catalog is just out of control good. Because like even the most brilliant of artists have to edit themselves and need like people to say like, get rid of this, maybe combine the ideas of these two, you know, something like that. So but the thing is, still, at the end of the day, I really did like at least the first half of the Tortured Poets Department a lot.
Yes, I think that this is more exciting work from her than I've heard in a minute, for me personally.
Yeah.
Matty Healy's team apparently is breathing a sigh of relief after the release of the album, and why he and his family can't be happier about how it turned out, because he was worried about what she was going to say about their relationship. And to me, I'm like, did you listen to it? Because it was pretty going for the jugular.
That's the most surprising thing about this album to me,
Absolutely.
is like how I had no idea we'd be singing about Matty Healy at all. I thought it was going to be Joe.
Totally.
But the Matty Healy songs go off. But even the happy Matty Healy songs, like we both kind of agree at this point
But
that
Daddy,
I Love Him is probably like our favorite track on the album. And that's the happy part of the Matt Healy, or at least it's what we can assume. I assume it's about Matt Healy.
When you listen to the lyrics more closely, it seems more clear that it is about him. And I don't know, I just feel like between the end of the album, like the LOML, all of that stuff, I'm like, you don't come across great, right? Like I feel like I don't know. I'm glad that he's happy, but it does feel like he and his family haven't listened to it. Apparently, there's a song on the second half of the album called Thank You, Amy. And that song is supposed to be a shot at Kim Kardashian. So I guess we'll listen for that. But I feel like it's been a minute since that feud happened. Like, when was Reputation? That was 2017.
Yeah.
I understand it was a big moment and a big like, oh, the world's turning against me. And I assume she still has trauma from that. But it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, but you know what? If she wants to write another song about Jake Gyllenhaal not showing up to the 21st birthday, I will still be as emotionally invested as I was the first time I heard the moment I knew. Okay?
Absolutely.
Because like, girl, I get it.
Did you see Courtney Love had a big interview this week?
I did.
Courtney Love, who was the lead singer of Hole, if you are a young person, and used to be, I believe, married to Kurt Cobain, and was, they were together when he passed away in the early 90s. And she is the kind of person, the kind of artist who's always going to say what's on her mind, always going to say how she feels. And she, in this world of very like PR media trained celebrities, is not one of those people. On Taylor Swift, she says Taylor is not important. She might be a safe space for girls, but she's probably the Madonna of now, but she's not interesting as an artist. On Beyonce, I like the idea of Beyonce doing a country record because it's a black woman going in countries into spaces where only white women have been allowed. Not that I like it much. As a concept, I love it. I just don't like her music. And
you know what?
She goes on, she talks about how she doesn't like Madonna, Lana Del Rey, and like she liked PJ Harvey's first 4 albums, but then she's done. And it's just like, damn, like it just, I mean, part of it's like, well, at least she's available, like able to give out her actual opinions. And like that is kind of a breath of fresh air, but it's like, damn, do you have any positive shit to say? Like, who do you like? Like, who of now makes you happy and like makes you excited about the future of music? Because, you know, I just wouldn't want to be, you know, if I was doing an interview, I couldn't have everything be negative. You know what I'm saying?
Sure, because then it's like, at this point, what are we talking
Right.
about? Like, it feels like, I don't know. How do you think she'd feel about us?
I mean, she'd hate us. I'm pretty sure she would not love us.
Okay, that's fine.
But that's okay.
I'd rather be hated for being me than loved for not being me, whatever.
Is that from somebody?
Sure, you know. I feel like today, like, we don't really have many Courtney Loves today. I feel like Azalea Banks is the closest that we have to
Absolutely. Azalea is always going to be writing on her Instagram story a whole 3-page monologue about, you know, why Beyonce isn't shit and like, but don't ever come for her. It's just like, with Azalea, it's like, and maybe this is a little with Courtney Love, but I feel like Courtney is at a different stage of her career. But with Azalea, it's like, but when did you put out music? Like, you're always coming after Beyonce, always coming after someone. And it's like, when did you put out something to be judged as an artist? Like, I didn't know you were now a cultural commentator. And like, if that's the move, great, good for you. But like, you're not making money from those Instagram stories. Like, I don't understand the point of that being your life. You know, I just don't get it. But best of luck to Azalea,
Best of luck to Azalea and to Courtney. We wish everyone the best.
Absolutely,
Here
we
to
do.
be Mats.
Did you hear that the Pussycat Dolls' Nicole Scherzinger is now an Olivier Award winner?
Congratulations.
Yes, she won her Olivier Award for a performance as Norma Desmond in the West End revival of Sunset Boulevard. The musical won the most awards at the ceremony this year and is readying for a Broadway run this fall. And Nicole is already a front runner for a Tony Award next year. Do you think that the PCD lead singer is going to have a Tony?
I think she could.
That'd
I think
be
definitely.
crazy.
I mean, it is a very like lauded production. It's very sort of like weird artistic interpreted production.
Yeah.
It's very like sparse, barren, and everything. Sort of it doesn't take place in like a specific time period.
Totally.
They're all like it's very who's the Ivo van Hove ish, you know, who's a famous theater director who takes like period pieces and makes them like really modern and like sparse and edgy and everything. So it's something like that. Apparently, there's a lot of blood. And I mean, I love Sunset Boulevard. If it transfers to Broadway, I heard that for the London production, they cut my favorite song from the show.
What song is that?
The Lady's Paying, which is one of my favorite Andrew Lloyd Webber songs, period. I heard that they cut it from this production. And so if it transfers to Broadway, you better put that motherfucking song back in the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Because that is my song.
Do you think this is a show that I would like? Like, should I be rushing to New York to see?
I don't know if this production is your speed.
Okay.
If you were to see a Sunset Boulevard, I think a more traditional production, maybe that Glenn Close movie adaptation that we've been waiting for patiently for God knows how long could happen, and you can check that out on IMAX. But I think this production, you could give it a try. If you really want to see Nicole, go for it. But apparently it's very bloody.
Okay. I mean, I am very pro Pussycat Dolls, and some of Nicole's solo work I like. So I am curious. I'm interested, but maybe I should watch clips online because I mean I don't love blood, but if it's blood from a stage, it feels further away.
Sure, of course.
It's harder when it's blood in IMAX. Then I'm like,
oh, that's a lot of.
You don't think there's blood in Challengers, do you?
Oh, I don't know.
Because you know I'm gonna hopefully be seeing Challengers as my first IMAX film. I don't want to be up front with a bunch of blood and like violence, but it's a tennis movie about like sexy maybe gay boys.
Tennis can be violent though,
and she gets hurt. I know that she like the whole trailer is like spoiler alert. Zendaya gets hurt.
Well, and also she gets hurt emotionally probably too. So there's a lot. The blood in the movie is the blood pumping through the heart.
I think she's the one doing the hurting.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure there will be moments where she's a little down in the movie.
We'll see.
Yeah, you know what? We did watch that Sunset Boulevard clip together for a patron request video when we watched Betty Buckley when we reacted to Betty Buckley singing As If We Never Said Goodbye.
Oh, I did like that song.
Yes, it's a great
like that
song. And so don't you want to see Nicole Scherzinger singing that song live?
I guess I do.
Okay.
I guess maybe I'll
see
give
it on
it a watch.
the Great White Way.
This Is Us' Sterling K. Brown, Mandy Moore, and Chris Sullivan are launching a rewatch podcast of the excellent This Is Us podcast entitled What? That Was Us. First episode drops May 14th, and I'm thrilled. I love this show. I feel like we as a culture don't give Mandy Moore enough. What an iconic individual who has been in our lives for decades and always doing great work. I love her, and I'm glad she's getting work wherever she can get it. I am surprised that after Sterling K. Brown was nominated for an Oscar, that he's hosting a podcast. No shade. We are hosting a podcast right now.
Oh, girl, when I get my Oscar nominations, you better believe I'm going to be here on Sunday at 6 p.m.
I mean, I hope so, but I just can't imagine you starting this podcast after you win an Oscar. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I hope that they must be paying him, and I hope all of them. Well, I don't know Chris Sullivan as well, but Mandy and Sterling especially. I hope they're paying them buckets of money.
I need you to do me a favor and listen to this podcast, and whenever they react to the Halloween episode from season, I forget what season, but whichever one aired in 2017, I think, ish, or maybe around there. Mm-hmm. I want to hear what they say. I imagine they'll be saying, oh, in this hairdresser scene, it's missing something. It's missing maybe a bitchy coworker who has maybe just one line. Because that was the episode I was cut from.
I know that. Do you think that they will remember that you were there and were cut? Because the thing is, I feel like Justin Hartley would remember you.
Justin Hartley might remember me. He's the only one in the cast that I met.
Right.
And he was very nice.
But you saw Mandy, right?
I saw Mandy for literally a split second, and I don't know if it was her.
You still should have said, my roommate loves gardenia.
Literally, what happened was, because I was on the whatever lot we were on, and they took me and Justin Hartley to the hair salon where we shot the scene. And then we shot our scene, everything. I did my line flawlessly, thank you very much. And they took us back, and I was like, oh, it was great to meet you, Justin. Can I get a picture? And he was very nice. He was a cool guy. And so then they put me on the cart. And you know how when you're on those little carts, you're sort of facing backwards?
Yes.
And so I was holding on to the thing, and I see the little kids from This Is Us, and it was a Halloween episode, so they were wearing Halloween costumes, and they were like, these are our costumes, yay. And then I just saw a girl with brown hair and glasses pop out of a trailer and look at the kids and go, oh, those are so cute, as I'm driving away. And I was just it took me a couple seconds to realize wait, I think that was Mandy Moore. But I was driving, she was getting smaller and smaller, and I just wanted to scream, wait a minute, my roommate loves the song Gardenia.
Gardenia's excellent.
I think we had a podcast entitled Wait, Gardenia, as I was telling this. It's about how I was telling this story.
Which is appropriate because it is still an excellent song. It is one that I go back to. And I was actually very happy when Las Culturistas had Mandy Moore on. They brought up Gardenia specifically. I'm like, yes! Well, I hope that the world, I guess there are several gays, it's not just me, who are Wild Hope stans and can point out the brilliance of Gardenia. Stop the cart, absolutely.
I should have stopped the car. Oh my God, if I grabs the wheel and turns that cart around, I think I would have gotten arrested and definitely cut from the episode then.
Speaking of professional haters like Courtney Love,
okay.
Brian Cox has gone on record to say Joaquin Phoenix was, quote unquote, truly terrible in Napoleon. About Ridley Scott's Napoleon. It's terrible. A truly terrible performance by Joaquin Phoenix. It really is appalling. I don't know what he was thinking. I think it's totally his fault, and I don't think Ridley Scott helps him. I would have played it better than Joaquin Phoenix, I tell you that. You can say it's good drama. No, it's lies.
Well, Brian Cox has spoken, ladies and gentlemen. I guess, I don't know. I didn't see Napoleon, I can't comment. But I do love Joaquin Phoenix. I think he's an excellent actor. But I guess, not everybody's going to get it.
I'm like, okay, what? Do you have to be above a certain age generally? Unless you're Azalea Banks. Sure. You have to be above a certain age to be truly a professional in your field, but also a professional hater at the same time of other people in the same field.
You're just I'm going to say what I'm going to say.
What age do you think that is?
I don't know. I don't know if age has something to do with it. I think seasoned, maybe it depends on how much you've been seasoned in the profession, how much shit you've seen and everything. And
so you're saying if tomorrow Dakota Fanning came out and said, fuck Dakota Johnson, everyone would be like, well, she's been around a long time. She can say it.
If anyone can say it, it's Dakota Fanning, ladies
absolutely.
and gentlemen. So she's the only one who can hate on that other Dakota. I don't know why they would hate on each other.
No,
but,
just similar names.
Similar names.
You know, it's upsetting for a lot of reasons. Megan Fox, this is only important for me, but Megan Fox has come out in defense of Chelsea from Love is Blind, who Chelsea got into a, kind of virally during the Love is Blind, like blind discussion portion of the show where she's like talking to her future fiance and being like, well, a lot of people say I look like Megan Fox. And right as the guy met her, he like turned to camera when they were having their one-on-ones. It's like, well, she lied about looking like Megan Fox. And because she's, of course, if you're saying I look like Megan Fox, the implication is like, I'm stunningly unbearably
I
beautiful.
could be called like the hottest person on the planet.
And
at one
Chelsea
point.
looks cute. She's a cute girl and like
very cute.
Similar coloring. I get why people would say that, but like
Yeah.
if you have no visual representation of a person, you wouldn't say Megan Fox. But so Megan Fox has finally come out, broke her silence on the issue. She said, quote, I've never had more people text me about something. I don't really watch TV very much, but I've had a lot of people text me and stop me and ask if I watch Love is Blind. And I say that I don't look like it. I don't think she deserved that. I think people went way too hard. I did see a picture of her. 100,000% people have told her you kind of look like Megan Fox. I believe she's telling the truth. And I hope she still has that sparkle in her eye. I hope the world didn't steal it from her. Mine died long ago from being bullied for 20 years. So I hope that didn't happen to her. Which, by the way, I guess I'm not up on my Megan Fox lore. What happened to Megan? I know she and Michael Bay maybe feuded for a bit. Is that what she's referring to here?
I mean, I imagine like years ago there were at the time like people were needlessly cruel to her online about like, are you hot enough? Are you not hot enough? Blah blah blah.
Really? I feel like everyone agreed she was very hot.
Oh, but come on, like like assholes online are like they're gonna
guess.
look at the hottest person and still like find ways to be nasty about her, like, so, like she's not that hot, something like that, because people are jerks,
Right.
And so I think Megan Fox was handled this appropriately.
I absolutely
Just,
agree.
And they have similar features.
Yes.
I think it would have been funny if like Megan was like, let's take a picture together and say that we're twins, or let's put on our own production of Sideshow.
I'd really enjoy both of those things.
I know. Can either of them sing?
No.
Who cares?
Who cares? Doesn't matter. Did you see something that is going to get a lot of gay people who are not us excited? Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan are going on tour together.
I think that's exciting.
Entitled The Sweat Tour. It's happening. And also Shy Girl is going to be there as a special guest. And I hope that you all have a great time.
Yeah.
I like both the artists well enough, but not enough to go see them live at a show. But I hope that all the gays listening who are in the, demographic enjoy it.
I think that's a wonderful pairing.
Yes, I think the pairing makes complete sense.
I think the pairing makes sense. I think the pairing is fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
John Chu also has confirmed that he's going to direct the Crazy Rich Asians Broadway musical, which is exciting, but also, are we ever going to get that sequel? Is it just not going to happen? We were promised a sequel to that film. And that film came out when at this point? 2018? 2017?
I think
2018. I think you're right. Because I remember seeing it and I'm just like, I would love to see what happens next. I just also want to know what the holdup is. I remember there was an issue with the screenwriting team because they had I want to say a white male writer and an Asian writer who were working together. And then the Asian female writer found out she was making so much less than her male counterpart that she quit. I don't know. I wonder if the movie's going to happen. I would like to see what happens next.
I want to see crazier, richer Asians.
It just was such a great film. And when you're talking about bringing back the rom-com, that was one of the ones
that was the movie that did it.
Absolutely.
I feel. That was the beginning of the people want to see rom-coms again.
Yes. So I don't know. I'm excited for the musical. I'm sure it's going to be lovely. John and Sue.
I'd love to see how he is as a stage director, because he's such a great film director and
right.
has so many great ideas, and so I'd love to see. I think sometimes that translates really well into directing musical theater.
Right.
I like Sam Mendes a lot as a musical director, for the stage and everything like that. And Stephen Daldry directed Billy Elliot for movie and stage. So I would like to see it.
I'd like to see it too, but if we can just get an update on the second film for Crazy Rich Asians, I'd really appreciate it.
Okay. He probably doesn't know either. He's probably but I do know that I am directing the stage version.
There are people he could call. Right? Just be give me an update. Is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen?
And I'm sure the answer is just, I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
Everything is just, I don't know.
Your business is a headache.
I know. You know how long I've been waiting for this goddamn Glenn Close Sunset Boulevard movie adaptation?
Sweetie, I think it's time to let that train
Listen.
go. I think it's over.
Don't say that.
You never know. But I feel like there was a lot of starting and stopping and a lot of like this happening and then nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going by like logic for probably both cases. I think we both need to let our dreams go.
Okay. Just
right?
let your
Just
dreams
let
go,
your
guys.
dreams go.
It's never going to happen.
Apparently, Quentin Tarantino is dropping The Movie Critic as his final film. He's decided that it will no longer be his final film. He has dropped the idea, and he's back to thinking about what his final film could be.
Quentin Tarantino has the opposite problem of Taylor Swift. He is editing himself too much.
Right.
Like he is so stuck on this idea of like, I want to direct only 10 big feature films, and that is what I'm going to do, which is like such a daunting thing to do to yourself, like as an artist and everything. But because he's very much like, you know, like I want this to be my legacy, these like perfect 10 films and everything, which is like cool if you think about it. Like it's very badass of him to just be like, nah, I'm going to stop at 10.
Would you call his 9 films that are released and available perfect?
I mean, I don't think any film was really perfect except for the movie version of Fiddler on the Roof. But, but like, no, but I love like his films and I want more but I do, you know, if he has been working on The Movie Critic and he's just like, you know what, this isn't working in the way I wanted to. Maybe I have an idea that I thought of that I'm starting to like more. Let's try going with that. But it's kind of just like, well, why can't you do both? Just have 11. It's like a baker's dozen. You know, It's not really 12. It's like actually 13. Like, can't you just do that, Quentin? Come on. Like, the people want to see. Because, like, after 10 is when you start getting really good. Like, I mean, Spielberg and Scorsese, like, after their 10th film, it was just like, they were on a roll and they were putting out like some of their best work. So like Quentin, like think of how good you can be after you have 10 under your belt, how good that 11th could be. Please.
All right. Well,
give it to us.
I'm hopeful for all of you Quentin Tarantino fans out there. I don't know that I've seen a movie of his, but you know, wish him all the best.
You saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I did. Ooh, talk about imperfect films. That film sucked.
Wow.
Hated it.
Okay.
I think that's all I have.
Okay.
Anything else you wanted to say before we take our quick break?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, guys, thank you so much. And we're going to be back soon after this break. Maxwell, 13 films, Taylor Swift Easter egg.
Taylor Swift Easter egg.
Michael loved Hateful Eight.
I love The Hateful Eight too.
That's
and a lot of
nice.
people are just like, oh, it's his worst. And I really love The Hateful Eight. It felt like a play. Because it was just, everyone was just chilling in that cabin. I had a great time.
Blah, blah.
So y'all time out, folks, because of opinions. Oh, are we all arguing? Y'all.
I don't know what's
happening.
happening in that chat. I hope you guys are having fun, though.
The Swifties are fighting again.
I don't know.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Yes, everyone's going to be okay.
Everyone's going to be okay.
An album came out.
She's going to release another album in 6 months. And there's going to be some great stuff on it. We can all be happy.
I'm glad that Jennifer's Body was several people's queer awakening.
We're talking about Jennifer's Body
that's
up here?
come up.
How did that come up?
I don't know.
I still have not seen Jennifer's Body.
Who directed that?
I don't know who directed it. It was the second movie that, what's her name, who wrote Juno.
Diablo Cody.
Diablo Cody was the second movie that she wrote after Juno.
Nice.
So it was like very much like Diablo Cody's second movie.
Right.
And I think at the time it came out, it got bad reviews. But then as time has gone on, people were just like, wait, no, actually, like this fucking rules.
It's like a cult classic kind of thing.
So
that's cool.
It's very much considered a film that did not get its fair due. So I'll have to see Jennifer's Body at some point.
I guess you do.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, what's your favorite song off the new album? At least the first half. But Daddy, I Love Him.
I would say, but Daddy, I Love
Daddy,
Him.
I Love
At
Him.
the current moment.
I quite like Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, and I really, really also like I Can Fix Him.
Oh.
I can. I think that's really good.
I like LOML.
LOML's great.
And I like the one we did the reel for.
I Can Do This With a Broken Heart.
Yes, I Can Do This With a Broken
Excellent.
Heart.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't know if it's the Swifties. People are just being hateful rather than saying I do. Listen.
Hi.
Hey. Do you know the reason why Babylon flopped box office-wise? So story. I thought it was amazing. I don't know the reason.
Oh Lord.
I don't know the reason.
I think a lot of people disagree with you. It didn't get great reviews, right? No. Okay. He's not wanting to say
it. Got some really great reviews.
Okay.
People either loved it or hated it, and the people who loved it were the correct ones.
I'm trying to mute people who are being too argumentative. Okay, that's fair. Okay. This is not. We're supposed to be enjoying a podcast, enjoying our time together.
To be honest, I really love So Long London.
That one is good. I enjoyed that too.
London. I think we could have started with that song.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Like I think that could have been a good intro. And then, yeah. But, okay.
I mean, would it be weird if But Daddy I Love Him was the first single? Because it's just so good.
It's so good.
I get sonically, maybe it's not exactly where she is these days, but
it's where she's
so
best.
Good.
It's
so
where
good.
she's best. Like, the
Not
elephant
the
poop.
No, I
Yes.
hated that.
You didn't even see it yet.
I know, but I know it's coming. And it's upsetting to me already.
It's just this quick moment. It's just a little blip.
That's too much. It's too much.
You'll be fine. Also meeting people who just jam.
Jeff, get out of here.
Everyone behave.
But Laddie, I love 2GM. Good.
Thank you.
I don't think any of your dads would be upset. We're pretty harmless.
Sure.
Unless if you're like 8.
Daddies love me.
Okay.
Down Bad was...
You're 13 or up.
Yeah. Down Bad was good of the ones I've heard, but without the baggage of But Daddy I Love Him.
I didn't love Down Bad, actually. I only listened to it that one
you
time.
didn't love Down Bad. I liked Down Bad until I heard the rest of the album, and I was like, if a couple can go, Down Bad can maybe be one of them.
Totally.
I Can Do It With a Broken Heart could have been such a great first. If that was the first single.
I know.
Because for so long, like the past several albums, like the first singles have been a little like,
Down tempo. Yes.
And just putting out I Can Do It With a Broken Heart would be such a surprise and like so good.
Right.
Am I the only one thinking Fortnite has nothing to do with Matt and it's all about Joe? Fortnite, 15 days. Are we counting again?
Yeah, we were counting
numbers.
again.
We love numbers.
We love numbers.
I don't think Fortnite needed to be there.
Yeah.
In general. I don't understand why that was the first single.
But Kathy, I love him. Stupid. Everyone's so dumb. I love that.
You guys, do you think Beyonce will do a full-blown tour for Cowboy Carter like Renaissance or no?
I think it's going to be a Sphere thing still.
Okay.
Grace says, I would mute Gaga haters, but I can't mute the hosts.
Wow, Grace.
Do not hate Gaga. I feel like I
love
say this
her.
every week. We love everybody.
But Daddy I Love Him is one of the top 2 songs, but I think it's too long to be the single. Fuck it being too long. The album's too long. Hey, Joe, you can't be saying like, oh, the song's too long to be a single when the whole album is 31 goddamn tracks. They could make clearly making things too long is not the problem.
They could make a radio edit if they felt like it. And also, if there's an argument of like, this song needs to represent the album, being too long is one of the characteristics of the album.
And like, I don't know, like it's Taylor Swift. If someone like people are going to listen to that song.
Yeah.
People are going to stream that song.
Right.
Regardless. Like she is the most famous pop star on the planet right now. If anyone can put out a slightly long leading single, it's Taylor Swift.
That's funny.
Bet Down Bad has to be the next single? I don't know, Anna. I don't know.
Yeah. There are lots of songs. Maybe the old single will be from Act 2 or
if
whatever.
I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is not the next single, I'd be blown away. To me, that has single written all over it.
Heather, our reaction is up on Patreon and it will be up on YouTube, the edited version tomorrow.
If she called them vault tracks, would it change the general feeling of the album?
I don't know. We haven't heard.
I mean, there's 15. There's 15 though.
Yeah. There's 15.
Yeah, to me, like saying like, "Oh no, you've only heard half the album" is so daunting to me. if they were bonus tracks, I'd be like, sure, they're not really on the album. But because it's just like, oh, there's a whole other half of this album, I'm kind of just like, but some of them probably, I'm assuming, could probably go. Like unless they're all amazing, I could be wrong. We'll find out tomorrow.
We'll see. Is it too early to ask for an out of 10 ranking of the first half? I have only listened to it once. I'd say 7.
I'd say 7.3.
Great. That's what I'd say.
Sure. Yeah.
Second part feels like a different album. Oh, I guess we'll see.
Okay. Well, whatever y'all say.
And we got questions this week, didn't we?
We did. We have 2 questions that we got for last week.
Oh, and we got one today.
Oh, and we got one today?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We'll do that one next week. Oh, we could do 3.
Okay.
I see Nina's. But I guess we did do a Nina one last week, I think.
Is there another question added to it, though?
Oh, no. Is that the same one? Oh, is there a question here? Another question?
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a question.
Oh, there's a question? Okay, great. We have 3 questions for...
in the second paragraph.
All right, great. I am going to move it to the podcast email section. We're so organized.
I know. We love organization.
I know. The second is different. It's mostly Aaron Dressner. Okay. Well, I liked the Aaron Dressner songs.
That's true.
On the first half. So...
want me to be completely honest, I listened to y'all's reaction to All Too Well 10-minute version instead of the actual song. That's very funny.
It's canon at this point.
I mean... That was a big night. What a great song.
It's kind of like when I think of the Beyonce Pretty Hurts music video, I can't not think about Matt Palmer, like it popping up Beyonce with the short hair and Matt Palmer just going, ah! And then turning it off right away.
I was overwhelmed. Yeah. I had a lot of feelings.
If you could choose which producer should Taylor work with because it's overdue already, who could it be?
Steele giving a slightly higher rating to Sacrifice Palmer first when the Swifties riot. Which producer that she's already worked with or one that she should work with in the future?
I don't know producers.
Oh.
So this is a Matt Palmer question.
Interesting.
To me, they are bonus tracks only for this. They're for the super fans.
Got
okay.
It. Hello. Oh, sending love from Adelaide, Australia.
Hello, Australia.
God,
G'day. Pretty Hurts music video is Oscar worthy. I will always love when he's like, "Oh, congratulations," and she's just like, "Thank you," and Matt Palmer just goes, "Acting."
You always point that out as like
it's
your
so
favorite.
Fucking funny. All Too Well 2K Matt's reactions, one of my comfort reactions.
Oh,
Taylor Swift had an editing issue since she left Big Machine. Just my humble opinion.
Yeah, I hear that.
Bro, the beginning of So Long London sounded like Call It What You Want. Oh. I have to listen to it again.
I mean, maybe call me an old Taylor fan, but if she got back in the studio with Nathan Chapman, I wouldn't hate it. I don't know if they're like...
Nathan Chapman do?
He did all of like Speak Now and
Nathan Chapman's great.
Fearless and all the country songs on Rad.
I laughed at your reactions to reaching the end and going, the single is our least fave. What the fuck? Yeah. Like Fortnite's my least favorite.
It was a surprise. It was a surprise. Do you guys like the new Camila song? No.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't listen to it.
Taylor Swift with Dev Hynes might be cool. Always loved his work with Carly Rae Jepsen. Interesting.
Okay. Cool. She could shake things up on the producer front.
Sure. Yeah, I feel like I feel like she's a person who's very plugged into the internet.
Yeah.
And hearing what people are saying. So I could see she and Jack taking a little bit of a break.
She's right. She's on the
I
live
hope she's
chat
not.
right now.
I hope she's
in the live chat right now, taking notes.
I know.
I'm talking to her PR person, just going like, well, the 2Gay Mats only ranked at a 7.3. So next time I have to make a better album. I have to make a better record. It's like, Taylor, don't be so hard on yourself. It's still a good album. Like, you did a great job.
Just hire an editor.
Yeah. Everyone needs it.
Have you guys listened to Dua's third single yet? No, we're going to wait till we do the reaction to that.
Yeah.
Till we do that.
Fortnite sounded like an older 1975 song, which makes sense. Okay. I don't know how 1975 sounds.
Oh, because Maddie Healy was the lead singer of them. So it's like a reference.
I remember that, but
yes.
I don't know much about them. But I wish him well, I guess.
Yes. Oh, wait. Did I do the ad for this break?
No.
Let's do an ad. We'll see who gets it, see who doesn't. It's always a fun game to play. Who's getting the ad, who's not.
It's the best reaction. I just can't listen to the song without thinking of y'all. I swear, I just love it. My 7-year-old and 5-year-old daughter love Taylor now, and they love watching y'all.
Oh, that's nice.
Thank you.
We might use bad words sometimes.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Sorry
we
about
curse
that.
sometimes.
So, yeah.
And we give them bad ideas, like taking a piece of broken glass and shoving it up their
Just tell your daughters to not say those words.
Don't say the words. Sometimes, like, after I curse on here, I'm just like, should I have said fuck?
I never feel bad. I love if there's a younger person listening.
But my
to this.
mother's watching.
Your mother knows you're an adult.
Okay.
She gets it.
If saying fuck is the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
That's the thing. There are worse things on the internet than 2 gay people.
Oh my God, get out of here. Yeah. Had woken up at 3:45 a.m., listened to Fortnite, didn't really like it, went back to sleep and woke up to it being a fucking double album.
That's funny.
We're talking about the best reactions. Let's not forget the underwater section of It's Quiet Uptown.
It's Quiet Uptown is a crazy
Our favorite reaction. That's like, to me, like still the funniest thing.
It's just insane.
You said is just, Kelly, I'm in the ocean. And when I'm just like, she just had a baby and you slap me and you go, her fucking child. I still crack up when I think of it.
That's funny.
I saw reactions to All Too Well 10 minutes in a compilation. I've been here ever since.
Oh.
Specifically, how do you write a line that good? And got it.
That is wild that she cut that line.
I know.
That's funny. I feel like you, again, have a much better memory. Like, I'm remembering all of this vaguely, but I'm like, it's not top of mind.
I pride myself on like remembering a lot, and as time has gone on, like people will tell me like, "Oh, I've talked to you about this," and I'm just like, "What?"
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, "Oh God, is there just so much in my brain now? Is my brain chock full? Like my brain is essentially like the Torture Poets Department double album. Like there's just so much in there that I don't know what's what anymore."
Could be.
Make Linda steal a mod.
That's funny.
Weekend 2 of Coachella must have been quiet since Taylor took over the weekend.
I heard that Chaperone did well again. That's good.
What are y'all's three albums of 2020 so far? I mean, I can't say I've listened to like a ton of like new full albums.
Mandy, my ex wore plaid. That is a great quote. My ex wore plaid.
He sure did.
As if he's the only one. As if no other people wear plaid.
There's one plaid shirt specifically that like, if you had met him twice, at least one of those times he was wearing it. Like it is a shirt that was riddled with holes, and just like he was like, it's my favorite shirt. He wore it everywhere, and he had it for years. So everyone, when they thought of him,
ever a moment where you're like, you got to get rid of that shirt?
No, because he looked so good in it.
With all the holes?
Yeah. He was from Idaho, so like, you know.
No, that doesn't.
Like he was born to look good in a plaid shirt with some holes in it, you know.
I don't know. For me, I just would look a little unkempt to me personally, but everybody has their own style.
But when you can work the unkempt, I mean, we were just arguing on the Discord about who likes face tattoos and who doesn't.
That's true.
And I'm team face tattoo. If you can rock it, you can rock it.
And Sabrina performed with Queen Nora. The people on the Discord said I'm not allowed to talk about Nora Jones. But you know what I'm thinking.
What's your guys' favorite line from All Too Well? I don't know what my favorite line specifically is. They're all so good. They're literally all perfect lines.
Right.
I would have to think about that.
I need to think about it too.
Yeah. One of my favorite 2 Gay Mats was when Palmer was like, everyone needs to calm down. We'll get through this in a few weeks.
I do remember as when we were on the podcast. It wasn't just me, but when we were both on that podcast being like, this is not a big deal. This is like swine flu all over again. Let's stop overreacting. And then it was like, oh, this is much different than that.
This is different.
Much different than that.
It hits different.
It did hit different.
It's different. Speaking of songs that should have been on, like officially on Midnights, it's a good song.
I'm trying to think. I mean, Cowboy Carter is my number one. I keep going back to it. I think Eternal Sunshine I really do like. And from what I've heard of this Taylor album, it's up there too.
Yeah, I think our girls have
done
satisfying stuff.
No one has been like a full disappointment, you know?
Yeah. So
you kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath. It's great.
That's a line.
I mean, yes, I'm a crumbled up piece of paper lying here because I remember it all. That's classic. Classic. Dylan says, I can't hear Nora Jones's name without thinking of your nickname for her, Matt P. What do you mean?
I do quite like, and I forget about you long enough to forget why I needed to.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
I do quite like that.
Why do you hate Nora Jones so much? She's calming, not boring, in my opinion. Not everything needs to be a high energy pop. I agree. And I love a ballad. I grew up in the 90s listening to pop and R&B music.
Yeah.
I just feel like a whispery, jazzy coffee house ballad is tough for me. Coffee house is very close to campfire for me, like feeling wise. And unless you're like, oh, I'm going to do an acoustic set, but really be belting myself out, or like I have a real big story I'm telling here.
I want stakes in the song.
I want stakes. And I feel like
song.
Until I saw some.
Yeah.
Just don't know why I didn't come. It's like, okay, let's go. It just doesn't. It just
doesn't move you.
It doesn't move me.
And my background's musical theater, so it's like I need stakes and songs.
Yes.
Like I am not here for background music, which like I've never listened to a Nora Jones album, so I don't know what it sounds like. But songs that are like vibey or like relaxing, I'm kind of just like as I said, mellow is the worst way to describe a song for me. I'm just like, I won't
that
like
means
that.
I won't like it. Right?
I do not like mellow.
Totally.
I like this story. Me and my math teacher had an argument over the Torture Poets Department being a double album, and she thought it was going to be Reputation TV, and I told her she was clowning, but she was right about it being a double.
That's amazing.
I mean, when you're arguing with your math teacher about it,
I know.
That's power.
Everybody cares.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Heather.
you so much, Heather. That's very sweet.
My favorite is when Palmer says we love everybody before saying how he's really feeling. That's funny. I'm wishing all a very peaceful time when everybody starts releasing music. I believe we will find peace at that time. Fave moments when you said you wanted to quit 2K Maths so you wouldn't have to discuss cats. That was true. That's true. Mary J. Blige got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her too. Absolutely an icon. Should be there. Overlooking Mariah is becoming more and more obvious.
It's like becoming a tradition now.
It's just like
what's going on here?
I how many more years am I to stand this?
Sure.
The math teacher is the one who does do the math.
Yeah.
That's funny. LOL, wait, I am that math teacher. Maxwell, we knew it.
I know, right? Because Maxwell's a teacher.
Maxwell.
And a Swiftie.
Don't know why I was really good on The Masked Singer when Michelle Williams sang it and put in some belts and runs. Hey, maybe that's good. And yes, good for Cher. Very good for Cher. She's been around for a very long time as well. It's just hard seeing people like, and we love everyone. Mm-hmm. But like, you look at Hootie and the Blowfish, or like, I don't know if it was them. It was Dave Matthews Band. And it's like, yes, they had a moment. They had a following. They were a thing in the 90s. But are they Mariah fucking Carey?
Maybe they're just not giving it to Mariah because she's still so young.
It could be that, but it's
and
also
like, she's far too young.
She's a woman. Like, it takes so much more for a woman, especially like a pop diva in all caps, because people just can't bring themselves to be like, oh, she's a rock artist, or like she deserves to be in the Hall of Fame because she has impacted popular music so incredibly.
No biggie. She literally just like revolutionized like how we look at pop music.
There's a reason why pop and hip hop are so intertwined these days, and it's because of Mariah fucking Carey. But
no big deal. No big deal.
Yeah, that didn't do anything, huh?
A fave 2K Maths moment is the musical Parents video when Steele says one of Taylor's parents is Madonna, and Palmer, without breaking a smile, looking away, just goes, ow.
Yeah, I mean, that was a shock.
I saw her being compared to Madonna by some people online this week. And so I'm like, oh, guess what? I was right.
I mean, they are saying it as far as impact, not as far as like artistry or
I'm
music.
talking in terms of like how she runs her career and like how she is constantly reinventing herself and making the headlines and using those headlines to her advantage.
And
putting out stuff. Madonna releases a sex book. Taylor releases clocks. We're doing what we got to do.
I think they're both great business people. I think the way they run their business and the idea of like having new images happens with Madonna in a way it does not happen with Taylor. She does not reinvent herself. In my opinion, I think it's been a very steady evolution. Sure. And like, oh, I'm going to go to pop at some point, but it's never like.
Not like a fool, like I'm doing a 180.
Madonna does a 180 between albums. Yes.
That is true.
Yes.
I will argue that Taylor does go into things being like, this is a whole new thing. And even if it's not.
Sure, but I feel like a lot of artists do that. Like,
like each era really is something unique and specific to her fans.
To her fans, yes, but
like,
I feel
there's such a focus on like each era is different.
I think besides the fact, of course, she has the Eras tour.
Is it? That's to be debated.
But I feel like every artist thinks that. Every artist is going to say,
sure, but Taylor really markets that sentiment, I think.
This is the more I'm hearing, the thinner it feels to me.
I don't think it feels thin.
I'm glad you can see it.
I'm saying this with my full chest.
I'm glad you see that. For me, I don't see that. Fantasy changed music. Yes, I'm convinced Tommy has old friends still in a few places blocking MC. I don't know. It feels weird. It absolutely feels weird to me too. Mariah Carey has even influenced pop country. Bro country, hip hop flavored country is basically copying 90s Mariah Carey formula of R&B and hip hop feature. It's just like the stark difference between, I say this every week, it feels like, but Mariah's coming off of Music Box. She's literally singing Without You up on the charts with Bodyguard songs and Celine Dion, and goes from that to her first single having Old Dirty Bastard on it.
I mean, it's iconic.
It's
iconic.
Changed the world.
Yeah.
We need that's a good one. A bracket of the most iconic music videos. That could be bloody. That's a great.
Each artist's like flagship
and like who's
video.
Wins. Oh, that's a great one actually.
That is actually a really great one.
Thank you, Isaac. We love it. We love great suggestions like that.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Beyonce's albums at this point are just like one giant music video. But no, Single Ladies I think would be her flagship music video.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Remember when Beyonce made music videos?
Right,
Remember
like
that?
Jesus Christ. God, we're exhausted.
Just tell me when to go and buy a ticket. That could have been my first IMAX, is whenever the visuals drop and I go to a theater to watch them, I'll go and I'll watch it on IMAX.
Instead, you're going to see cinema.
I will see Challengers. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that.
All Too Well wins.
For music video? Sorry, we love everybody, but it does not.
No, it's perfectly lovely.
Yeah, I wouldn't even see it wins her bracket of music videos.
No, what's Taylor's?
Blank Space!
Yeah.
Blank
Space. Blank
That's
Space. And,
the
then, and if
video.
anyone tries to argue Bad Blood, no. No. Having
Space.
just a bunch of celebrities in a music video does not make
Don't
it.
get the Swifties mad. They're
Listen,
here.
I'm just saying Blank Space is
Blank Space.
her best music video.
Tyler, Beyonce was right. People don't release albums anymore, including visual albums. It's true. We used to have those.
Listen, Taylor releases albums. If there's one thing we know about Taylor is she releases albums.
Mariah had the duet with the Luther Vandross at like 24. And that cover of Endless Love is so gorgeous. Beyond.
What would Mariah's like
Video
most famous
be?
music video be?
I would argue Heart. I'm between Honey and Heartbreaker.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. That's hard.
It's hard.
Both are just
What would you guys
so
say between
adorably
Honey and
Mariah.
Heartbreaker? What did Grace say? The visuals will still come after Act 3, which is fine.
Out of the Woods is an excellent
It is an
music
excellent
video,
music
but
video.
I wouldn't say it's like her most iconic
Right.
music video. It is an
Right.
excellent music video, and I think it could have been one of her most iconic had she released it as a single sooner.
Yes.
Which she should have.
It should have been earlier.
But it's okay.
You could argue the Grammy rap song collab category happened because of MC. I think it was introduced in 1999. I completely agree with you.
There's this influencer guy from Dubai that I recently saw on Instagram, and for some reason he looks like steel to me. I have to find his name. Okay.
Oh, let's see.
One of my favorite Two Game Mask moments was when they both said "all too well." All too well. Oh no.
Oh, Grace
what
says
just happened?
Heartbreaker. Montrez says Honey. This is the thing.
This is hard.
This is
I mean,
hard.
you can't beat that jet ski.
You-
But then
but-
you also can't beat her kicking her own ass.
No,
in the
Mariah versus
bathroom.
Bianca is a classic.
Maybe we'll have a duel, a rock paper scissors for which Mariah video it can be.
Which Mariah video is included?
All Too Well is definitely Taylor's best video in my opinion. Oh, okay.
Maxwell's team Heartbreaker. Personally, Dylan is Honey is just iconic because of the song. I think it beats out Heartbreaker. And as a song, Honey, I think is more important.
Khalid Al Ameri. All right, I'm looking
Let's
him
see.
up.
Brittany says Honey. Interesting. Yes, I was about to say Blank Space is the goat of Taylor music videos. I agree. If we're talking about best music videos, it's got to be Break My Heart by Dua Lipa. I need to watch that again. I have no big memory for that.
Oh, he's cute. I don't look like him though.
Oh, he's cute.
I don't think I look like him, but he's very cute.
Maybe like
Seems like a sweet
I
guy.
could see like maybe eyes down. Like I could see your smile looking like that. Yeah. Okay.
No one can see. It's fine. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I could see your smile, like similar smiles.
He's cute. Thank you. He has
That's
a very
nice.
cute smile.
Yes.
All right.
I
Is he
remember-
gay?
Which is always the important question when it's like, there's this hot guy. Is he gay?
Is he gay?
I remember watching The Honey for the first time and thinking, who is that? That's not Mariah. Oh, that was when, I mean, I feel like I've told the story a lot, but yeah, when the Honey video came out, it was around the time that, my brother and I were going through the change. And so my parents had books lying around of like, I guess more my brother than me, whatever. Sure. It's around the time. So
His puberty was more intense because he's straight.
I think gay puberty is intense.
It's intense, but there's a little more estrogen mixed in there. So like it's a little more of a gradual.
The point is, my parents like left books in like
Sure.
a powder room, just like, this is what's happening to my body.
Sure.
And so I was like, oh my God, me and Mariah Carey are going through puberty at the same time. Cause she just like is getting much more sexual in her videos. So she must be going through it too.
That's so cute.
That was not right.
I remember we had it was called the Teenage Body Book. And I think my brother somehow acquired it. Maybe my mom gave it to him. But I was totally not going through puberty, but I was reading that book. I was just like,
Gotta know.
oh, interesting. That's what I learned about the difference between a circumcised penis and an
Oh, they were really going detailed.
Oh, it had pictures, it had it all, and that's where I had a lot of sex education. I was just reading it, and I was like, huh, fascinating.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Wait, so We Belong Together isn't even in the running. We Belong Together is great,
Great video.
but it's not Heartbreaker,
she's not
Honey.
on a jet ski.
I mean, the Roots video is also stunning, but yes,
You
the
do
thing
love
is,
that Roof video.
I
And that
love the
Breakdown
Roof.
video is excellent.
I love Breakdown.
Yeah.
I love literally all of the Butterfly era music videos are excellent. But when you're talking about impact, also,
Yeah.
like I feel like those are deeper cuts. Not that we belong together video, obviously, but for the other Butterfly.
What would Gaga's be as far as
Bad
music
Romance?
video?
Bad Romance. For me. What would you say?
I would say Telephone.
Interesting.
I would say Telephone.
Even though she doesn't like Telephone.
I would say Telephone or Paparazzi, actually.
I mean,
over Bad Romance.
I think all three of them are in the running. Yeah. But when I think of a Gaga music video, I would say Bad Romance.
Okay. This bracket video.
I know. Clearly it's coming. Clearly we already have opinions about this.
I know. This is hard. I learned most of my knowledge from Jersey Shore when I was younger. Important. Changing bodies, changing lives. Missy Elliott better be in the music video bracket.
Oh, what great video she had. But it's like, which one do you pick?
You guys, obviously the best Taylor music video is Picture to Burn. Never seen it.
I don't remember that. All I know is I assume, did she say, that's fine, I'll tell mine you're gay in the video? Because that's a great line. That line makes me laugh. What do you think is Janet's definitive video? I would say, I mean, maybe it's just because of when I grew up. I would say If.
Okay.
Oh, what a great video it is. But Pleasure Principle is excellent, and one of them for sure. Yeah, she has a lot of great videos.
What would Madonna's be? Now we're just trying to figure this out.
You're just helping us build the bracket.
Yeah. Like a prayer.
You're right.
I think.
You're right.
Yeah.
We need 2 categories, commercial category and catalog expert division for Mariah. That's fine.
Okay. Mom was studying to be a nurse. My talk was educational.
Oh, I'm sure.
Picture to Burn, homophobic version. I think Duo Def took too long in the release of her album, and she's very radically, optimistically releasing it a week or 2 after Taylor's.
That's the Way Love Goes. It's a great one. That's
one. Sure.
Oh, yeah. Obsessed is about Eminem, babe. Yes. Katie's would be California Girls, but there are too many. I mean, I'm very biased with my Katie Love, but I'd say Teenage Dream. I just think
for
Teenage
music
Dream,
video
for everything. I
can't picture the Teenage Dream music video.
I mostly can picture she's on the beach with a hot guy who I think may have later sued her. Okay, and it's like the whole thing is shot basically like it's an Instagram filter moment. It's like very of its time.
Okay,
it's great.
I think it's California Girls for Katy Perry. It's got the cupcakes. It's got the sprinkles. It's like got the visuals. Yes. I think it's California Girls.
Oh, Love Will Never Do Without You. Oh, I love that video and song. One of my... let's not forget the iconic Got Till It's Gone. Amazing song and video, absolutely. Janet's Together Again is the video I remember when I think of her as a child. Rhythm Nation and Doesn't Really Matter. And Rhythm Nation was a visual album, by the way. You guys should YouTube that entire Rhythm Nation. It wasn't like every song had a video, but like there were several videos along. It was like a 30-minute special or something. It was great.
There was a point in the 90s, 2000s where every video was in the desert for some reason.
It happened.
I mean...
What's Olivia Rodrigo's best music video? Interesting.
I think Bad Idea Rate's really fun.
It is fun. I need to watch it more. Good for You, I liked.
Good for You was a fun music video.
The Fire. Michael says Good for You.
Okay.
Oh, Someone to Call My Lover is perfect. All right, it's California Girls. Fine.
Yeah, it's California Girls.
What about Teenage Dream?
Well, yeah, what about it?
Perfect song, perfect video, perfect time in all of our lives.
Okay, but is it emblematic of Katy Perry?
Oh my God.
No.
Fine.
California Girls. Cupcakes. Sugar.
Hey, I could yell at you in the same way about Bad Romance, babe. I really could. All right.
I'll have to rewatch.
Yes, rewatch. Because it's a moment.
But to me, like, Telephone was when it was like, oh, what the fuck are we? What's this dialogue?
Well, Telephone is when things went off the rails.
Yes, like, and that is why.
Crazy.
I mean, that's such an iconic music video where people were like, what is she doing? She's taking these long breaks in between verses.
I love how we spent this long discussing music videos during the breaks. It's true.
Know.
Teenage Dream was cute.
What's Adele's? I don't know, but it's probably in sepia.
I mean, probably like Hello or some... I mean, Rolling in the Deep.
I think that I Drink Wine video is excellent.
It is
but
excellent.
It's not like her most iconic.
No. And we were there for the premiere of that.
We sure were.
With Adele herself.
I love when she was there and she was just like, okay, I'm going to let you all know. In the video, there's color. It's in color.
And we were like,
oh my God, she's reinventing herself. And then she's like, but don't worry, I'm still sitting. It's like, yes.
Maxwell, Britney's This Baby One More Time, which is the winner, by the way. Okay. We have not gone through the thing.
Okay. It is. Is it controversial to say Shania Twain's music video?
No, her videos are great. Yeah, Rolling in the Deep is up there. Okay, let's get to the second half.
This. We gotta
go to bed at some point.
I know. Guys, much like Taylor's album, we were almost too exhausted to get to the second half. But don't worry, we made it. We showed up.
We did.
Yes, it will be about 15 tracks long in length. But first, we're going to get an ad. Matt Palmer, sell the product.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to or watching the podcast. It means so much to us, and it would also mean a lot to us if you went to your Apple Podcast or your Spotify and left us a 5-star rating or review. We do only accept 5 stars. It would help on both of those apps for the algorithms. We want to make sure as many people can listen to or engage with our podcast as possible, and you would help us do just that. Also, if you're in the Southern California area, we have a live show happening on May 4th. The link is in the info section of this video or the podcast itself. Please buy tickets. It's 7:30 p.m. We are going to be recording this podcast live at the Lyric Hyperion at 7:30 on May 4th. It's going to be so much fun. We have just finished our run of show. We have rehearsed the song. It's going to be a great fucking time, I got to tell you. And if you really love us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats. You can join the Discord, meet a bunch of friends you haven't met yet. It's really popping off the Discord in this past week. Yeah. So come join as the people are coming and joining.
Yeah, exactly. So this is Email My Heart. This is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO.
Yes.
So we have an email. We have 3 emails that we're going to do. First one is from Amy. Amy says, career advice. Hey, Matt, I hope you are doing well, and I just wanted to say your podcast is the highlight of my Sunday.
Oh.
I am reaching out today and hoping you can give me some career advice. I just started a new job. For context, I am terrible at big changes and not feeling helpful/productive, etc. And I already feel like I am not learning fast enough. It has really gotten to my mental health, and I've spent the last couple days crying on and off at literally anything. A sad TikTok video, a happy TikTok video, etc. Literally anything can trigger it. While no one has said anything about my performance, I just feel like I'm not learning as fast as I should be, and like I'm never going to get it. For context, I am a month in, but I just feel really crappy, and it affects the rest of my day. Matt Palmer, I know you work in the corporate setting, and maybe you could share how you would approach this situation, getting up to speed and being able to go with the flow and not know every single thing at once. I feel like every time I ask a question, I am bugging someone who is much busier than me. Best, Amy.
I think the first thing you should do is stop putting so much pressure on yourself. Like you mentioned in the email, no one has talked to you and said, oh, you're not learning fast enough, or given you feedback that you're not getting up to speed fast enough. I understand, especially coming from a job where you probably knew it all. You were there for a super long time. It's comfortable. It's like, now I feel comfortable. Whatever gets thrown at me, I'm going to know how to react to it. And so this is a change. This is a new situation. And just know, and I don't know if this is rude or not kind, but literally what helps me is thinking there are people who do this job are in this office that A, are trying less hard than I am, and B, are probably stupider than I am. And that was literally when I was a kid, I was scared to drive on the freeway. And then I just kept thinking, there's so many idiots driving on the fucking freeway.
Idiots.
I know that I can do it. And then I feel like the fact that you are hard on yourself is something that can kind of be a good thing if you can harness it correctly, because you just need to focus that energy on learning and not beating yourself up for not learning fast.
Yeah, I think the fact that you are hard on yourself just kind of shows that you care. And I think, honestly, at a job, caring is half the battle.
Absolutely.
I think it's showing that you care. And there are many people at your job, I'm sure, who don't care as much as you.
Absolutely.
And so while, you shouldn't be as hard on yourself, just know, like, the fact that I am thinking about this means that I care, which means I am putting in the initiative, and subconsciously I will learn through that, and just like have faith that you will get it. I think after a period of time, you can maybe like calmly like ask your supervisor or boss, just flat out ask them, just like, do you think I'm like learning? Like, how do you feel my performance is? If there is anything I specifically need to work on, please let me know. I would really appreciate it.
Or even frame it as like, I really am wanting to do this job as well as possible. Do you have any tips on like picking things up quickly? This is a whole new thing for me, and I really want to feel like I'm getting up to speed as quickly as possible. I wouldn't ask for negative feedback, but I could frame it and like
frame it in a sort of way that,
like, I'm so excited to be here and I want to be doing well.
Yeah.
Do you have any other tools or things you would suggest for new hires like me as far as getting up to speed goes? Yeah. But again, I really think no one else feels this way about you, and it's personal, and like that is an okay thing to feel. But as soon as you give yourself grace, I think you're going to wake up one day and be like, oh wow, I know the shit now. Like I feel confident in my role. You just have to get to that place.
I know, it's kind of like when we turn on the podcast and do a live stream. Like the first time we did it, we were just like, what are we doing?
Right.
But now it's just like, oh, turn the camera on, let's go. Right. And you don't realize sort of like how much you're learning until you do it for a while. And you're just like, we know what we're doing, at least somewhat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a good feeling. And you're going to get there. Just know that you are doing the right thing. You are more than capable, and you will wake up that day with all the knowledge, and it's going to feel great.
Yeah, exactly. And then there will be someone who's hired less recent or more recently than you, and they'll probably just be like, what am I doing? And you're like, girl, you're fine.
And you can help them.
Fine. And you can help them.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. So next email comes to us from Brad. Brad says, finding my passion. Hi, Matt Palmer and Matt Steele. You both seem so passionate about what you do, and I'm looking to find my passion. Right now, my job is just a means to an end rather than a passion. What I would love to figure out what brings me joy so I can do more of that. Any advice on where to start? Some people just grow up knowing exactly what they want to do, and that just isn't me. I just want to feel inspired, and I don't really know where to begin. Something I think about all the time is joining book talk, but man, the internet is brutal, and I'm afraid of the hate comments that come with social media. Thanks in advance. P.S. Have you decided how you're going to do the live listening party for Taylor Swift's album? Is it going to be on Twitch? This email was sent to us a while ago. I definitely want to tune in. Brad, I hope you got to tune in.
Yes.
If you weren't able to for the first half of the album, we're doing it for the second half of the album on our Twitch. So join us there at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, Monday, April 22nd. PPS, for those who aren't in LA, how can we watch the live podcast? Will you be streaming it, posting it on YouTube after the fact, Patreon, etc.? And my guess is there will be no podcast for us non-LA folks to tune into that Sunday. Lucky LA people. Have so much fun, everyone.
Oh, thank you. The plan for the live show is ideally we're going to record the whole thing and put the whole thing up, at least audio, on our Patreon. And we're going to cut the audio that is going to be applicable for the podcast. Like there are going to be specific segments that not having a visual won't make sense for it to be included.
Sure.
But whatever makes sense as an audio only format and like a podcast format, we'll put up on the regular feed and on the stream that Sunday instead of, having a live and a new podcast. So yes, you'll get to hear some of the live show if you are just a regular listener, and the entire live show if you are a patron. Ideally, we still have to go through that rehearsal and make sure that all works as expected.
Yeah.
But as far as your passion, I think you're doing the right thing. I think you just need to first think about like, what do you enjoy doing with your free time now? Like it seems like you were talking about book talk and maybe going into that neck of the woods. I think that is not a bad idea. But it's also like, if you have other book related things that could bring you joy, as far as like, maybe you want to be a writer, or maybe you want to be, a critic, or just someone who discusses books. I don't know really how book social media works. And I would hope that they were a kinder bunch than like the pop girl social media, which does get a little feisty.
Book social media gets feisty as well.
Oh, really?
Don't you worry about that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think I would use that as my jumping off point. I also would advise you to not try to make money with your passion initially. Like the point of the passion project is just so you can fill yourself up with inspiration and like feeling like a good drive about you. Like if it makes money one day, that's a cherry on top. Like I do not fault anyone for having a survival job, a job that they just are doing because it's like a money funnel, because they have other things they want to do in life. Or even if they're fine with just like, I go to work, I come home, I watch TV, and I hang out with people I love. Like that's a beautiful life too. But if you are looking for something that you're passionate about, you're probably closer to finding it than you think you are.
Completely. I mean, the fact that you suggested book talk kind of, or at least I don't know you, but it makes me think like books seem to be this person's passion.
Totally.
And so if that's sort of the first thing that pops into your head, then maybe it's that. And the thing is, like with book talk, I would assume you want to go on and like review a book or talk about a book, to explain things that you liked about it. I would say just try it, see what happens. You are like, when you put anything online, like there is a chance that someone's going to go on and like say something mean or like rude or something like that. You literally just have to look at that and go, oh, that person's dumb. and then,
right.
Because it's just kind of what happens, and you kind of become numb to it after time.
It's true.
That does take some time to sort of like grow that callus over your skin. But then by the end of it, you're really just like, whatever.
Right.
And the thing is, like, as time has gone on for us specifically, like we get far less mean comments.
We do get fewer mean comments. Some will pop up.
Yeah,
but it's also like when it's like something like a Taylor Swift album reaction or something, we're gonna get a lot of comments. So it's easy to focus on the positive ones, and like as you do it more often, you're gonna spend less time scrolling through the comments at all. Yeah. Honestly,
more time focusing on like the creation of the content and the people who are saying that they like your content.
Yeah,
that's what you'll really focus on. But also another, I guess maybe something you could try is I find that maybe think back to when you were a very, very little kid. What did you love doing most when you were a little kid? Like stuff like that. I find that people's passions usually start like when they're very, very young, or at least like something in that passion that they develop when they're older. There's some aspect of that they were passionate about when they were like a very little kid, when they were like 4 or 3. Like when I was 3 or 4, like I was obsessed with like watching movie musicals on the TV and recreating them and stuff like that. My brother, when he was a very, very little kid, when he was a very little kid, he said he wanted to be a ringmaster at a circus. Like that was his dream job. But then, when he was probably around like 3rd or 4th grade, he was like, I want to be a writer. I want to be a writer. I want to be a writer. And then as he got older, he was just like, I want to be a teacher. And he became a teacher. But then he went back to school to get his master's in library studies. And now he is a elementary school librarian. So he really found his passion to be a writer. And he sort of connected that to what he learned in becoming a teacher, and has combined that. And now also he's getting a book published.
That's amazing.
In summer of 2025. So like after all these years of not really thinking about wanting to be a writer for a while, he is now suddenly like getting a book published as he's older. So it's all coming like full circle for him, you know? So, think back as to the stupid little things that you liked doing when you were a little kid.
Right.
Like
that probably would still excite you these days.
The fantasy sequences you had in your head.
Right.
Like I remember being like coming up with ideas for shows and like casting my entire kindergarten class in this show that I created in my head. And typing out little cast lists of who's going to be in this play and then never showing anyone. You know, that's what I just like to do for fun, and printing them out and putting them in a folder.
I would record audios of like my top 5 songs of the week, and let me talk about Whitney Houston's Why Does It Hurt So Bad, and why it's number 1 for the week this week again. Because it was always number 1.
And look at your ass sitting here talking about music.
Exactly.
In a streaming setting.
It makes sense.
You are the radio host you were born to be.
I really am, aren't I? I know. It's beautiful.
Oh my God.
Do we want to do a third question?
Let's do the third one. Why not? We're going to make this podcast a little extra long, just like Taylor made her album a little extra long. Okay. Because you know what? Who doesn't need to edit the 2 gay mats?
Yeah, that's true. I don't edit this.
That's true. What do the 2 gay mats and Taylor have in common? No editing.
No editing.
All right. So this question comes to us from Nina. Nina says, staying afloat. Hi, Mats. Thank you for answering my recent questions. I've been going through a bit of a hard time this year. I listened to your Hello, Mr. Mayor podcast episode whenever I'm feeling anxious. That episode was so long ago. I love it.
So long ago.
It's the episode that made me fall in love with your podcast and probably one of my favorite pieces of media ever.
That's very sweet.
It's hard for me to overthink when I listen to it because I'm too distracted laughing. I'm doing much better recently, but I was wondering, what do you guys do when you are struggling with your mental health? Whether your circumstances are bad or your mood is inexplicably low, what activities, affirmations, attitudes keep you afloat when you feel like you're drowning? Personally, I write down all the things I'm looking forward to each week on my whiteboard. Your live stream makes a regular appearance on that list, so thank you from the bottom of my heart for helping me stay afloat. Lots of love, Nina. Oh, that's really sweet.
That's
Nina.
very
I really
sweet.
appreciate that.
For me, I am very much a believer in when I feel like my mental health is suffering, I just need to take a step back. Because like usually that is because there's a lot of balls to juggle, having a full-time job, doing 2 gay mats, just working on music, the live show coming up. I can get overwhelmed and overworked a little bit. And so having days like I spent today, as I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, doing absolutely nothing and just recharging, like even if it feels like not productive or whatever, like you're allowed to give yourself like real rest and real breaks. Like that is not laziness to me. That is necessary for everyone's quality of life, is that they take the time to rest and recuperate and, have a bubble bath and just like, watch, I watch old Will and Graces. I watch old Happy Endings episodes. I just like feel no shame in turning my brain off for a day or like for a few hours when I'm feeling overwhelmed and like a little down, because I know that once I get back to doing the things I need to do, I'll have more energy. Like my battery will be more refilled as I do it, you know?
Okay. I take long walks.
I
go on a long ass walk. I walk because I know it will make me feel worse if I like coop myself up and like just like watch something. Like I can't do that. Like if I'm like feeling crappy, like I need to go out and like be amongst the people, have a nice lunch to myself. You know, I love eating by myself.
Not this again.
I love just walking by myself, maybe listening to some music, maybe not listening to anything at all, just walking and walking and walking. So like, I think just like sort of like feeling like outside and like doing something physical, like walking, just like makes me naturally feel better.
Yeah. I'm very pro. You know, I go on my evening walks. I went on a walk today. Yes. No, I'm pro having that in my.
And look at how fucking happy you are right now.
Fucking happy.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. Yeah.
All right, Matt Steele.
Oh, speaking of things that brought us happiness
Yes.
this week.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What has been giving you moments, Starlight?
So there were two things that gave me moments.
All right,
this
here we
week.
go.
The first, I'm a little biased for because this was written by our friend Chuck. So if you guys know me, you know that my favorite era of cinema is like the late 80s, early comedies, or late 80s, early 90s family comedies. And one of the highlights in that sort of oeuvre of film is Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yes.
And they rebooted that and made an updated version that was written by our friend Chuck. And I just saw it in theaters last Wednesday. It's so fucking great. It's so fucking funny. It's wonderful just, you know, seeing like a movie that you feel so nostalgic about, but then seeing like a new like sort of modern day twist on it. It like rides that line between like the movie you remember and this new movie with like new jokes, new funny things, and obviously like in an updated time period, like so well. It gives you just enough nostalgia, but just enough new stuff. And it's really fun. Nicole Richie is so great. Like she's just like such a lovely presence. Like it's so fun to watch her.
She was great on, was it Good News, that Tina Fey executive produced show that like got kicked off the air too early? She was like a very good actress on it. She was basically like the Jane Krakowski-esque role in that show, and she's so fucking funny. Sorry.
She plays the boss Rose. You know, I'm right on top of that Rose. She plays this role, and also the real Rose from the previous movie made an appearance. They shot it at the same exact house that they shot at before, and I didn't know this and until like the house popped up, and I was like, bitch. And then I saw the living room and I was like, bitch, this is the same house. And I would like started crying. I don't know why I was feeling so emotional. It's so funny. The performances are great. I don't know. I can't recommend it enough. I imagine it'll be streaming somewhere soon. But
I hope
also,
so.
It was produced by BET. So I wonder if like they have a streaming service.
They do.
I don't know.
BET Plus
I just know it's also playing in select theaters now. So everyone check it out. And especially if you love the original Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Second movie I saw this week was a very intense movie called Civil War by Alex Garland. It's the fourth movie of his that I've seen. I think he's only done 4, but I could be wrong about that. It is with Kirsten Dunst and Kaylee Spaney
I don't
or whatever.
know her.
She played Priscilla Presley.
Oh, great.
In the Priscilla movie that came out last year. And it's very much sort of like a future film, like takes place in the future as if America was going through a civil war where it was kind of like America like has this sort of like fascist president who is like not kind to press, and has given himself a third term, and is, very scary situation.
Yeah.
And so you don't know much about the politics of it all because it's not really explained. You just know that there is a civil war going on. It's essentially just like the United States versus like Texas and California, which have sort of aligned together and call themselves the Western Forces, and they are trying to like overthrow this like president and everything. And it's not so much about like what is happening politically in the country that's important. What's important is essentially just like how the people are reacting to this situation, and it's all told through the eyes of journalists, and it has like such a strong like journalism lens. And Kirsten Dunst plays this wartime photographer, and they're essentially like they don't really comment much on like what's happening in terms of their opinion, because they're just like, we have to be objective. And they are like traveling through the country trying to get to the White House. And they're like traveling through and they're passing through all these like battle zones and everything. And they're like in these like war zones. They're like taking pictures of these people being shot at, and they are so fucking in the way. Like they're literally right. Like you can't imagine that like you would ever like want to run towards an area where like bullets are flying and just like, snapping pictures. But like they're doing this and they're like risking their lives to do this. And if I was one of those people with those guns, I'd be like, if you don't get the fuck out of my way, like, but still like it's just like really, really intense. And, you know, it calls to question a lot of things like censorship and stuff like that, but also like seceding a government and everything like what that is, and but also like sort of like the coldness and numbness that happens when you want to get into something like journalism and something like this is happening, because they literally have to take pictures of people like dying, and they can't like interfere with anything. They can't help or anything, and so that just sort of like the scariness that is involved with all that. And yeah, it's really, really interesting, really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I saw it in Dolby, so like, baby, those gunshots were right up there next to my ear. I love a Dolby cinema moment, so it's doing really well in theaters. So I imagine a lot of you already saw it. So, but if you haven't seen it yet, I definitely recommend it. It's really interesting. It's really intense. So yeah, we have a nice, happy, fun movie that gives you the nostalgia of the happy movies from the 90s, and then we have Civil War, which scarily gives you too much of a reminder of these days.
Right. Yes. So, well, if you guys watch it, I hope you love it. I will not be there for that, but I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It just sounds like a little intense for me personally.
It's a little intense, you know.
Okay, so for me, I have two things that gave me moments as well. The first one is a Drag Race spoiler. If you've not watched the season finale of Drag Race, please do not continue listening. Mute us for the next minute and a half, 3 minutes. I don't know. But I just want to say, I get it. I get what happened. It was a great show, and they kind of open up where there's the top three queens this time, and everyone did their solo number where it's like they're lip syncing to a song, an original song that was written for them and like inspired by their story and their journey on the show. And there are three queens. There's Nymphia, there's Plain Jane, and there's Saphira. I am rooting for Saphira. Saphira is amazing. She's been consistently amazing the entire time. But Nymphia has been excellent the whole time, but like maybe had a little bit of dip, a little issue with her confidence midway through. But then by the end was really blossoming into a beautiful queen. But Saphira is just like maternal, lovely, and like very much a fully formed drag performer at this point. And she had auditioned for that show 11 times and just got it now. So hey, Big Brother could still happen. And she is in the final three, and she's so excellent. Plain Jane is good, very funny, but like very clearly, in my humble opinion, the third place person. So they go to the top two, and the top two is Nymphia and Saphira. But on their, like, before they cut it down to the top two, they do these solo performances where they sing these original songs inspired by their stories. And Nymphia did a great job. It was excellent. It was very good. But Saphira's fucking performance was unreal. Like, it's just like, she is a natural performer, a natural entertainer, such a natural dancer. And she like implemented so many of like the challenges that she won into her performance. Like, you could tell the funk dancing was there. It opened with, she was lip syncing, but she's actually an opera singer. And it opened with an opera singing moment and then went into this like very funky, amazing song. And she performed her ass off. She was kicking all the way up to her face. It just was truly unbelievable. Nymphia's was very good too, and I think Plain was also good, but just like only humor. We're like making jokes. It's only jokes. Okay. Whatever. So I get why Nymphia and Saphira were the top two, and they go down to their final lip sync, and they're lip syncing to what? The gay national anthem, Padam Padam. Yes. So it's great. It's excellent. And something to know as we go into that final lip sync is Nymphia has never been in the bottom. She's never had to lip sync for her life the entire season. She never even was lip syncing for the crown. Like, she was never in the top and had to like fight a girl. We have not seen her lip sync at all. Saphira has lip synced several times. Mostly she's lip synced for the crown and maybe lip synced in the bottom once. But like, just during the course of the show, we know what she does during a lip sync. And so you would love this. Nymphia comes and she's dressed up as Boba.
I saw the boba. And I was like, fuck me, yes.
And then right when it's like shivers and butterflies, she like opens her outfit, and then these black balloons, which are supposed to be the boba, like fly upwards. And I was just like, oh shit.
Iconic.
And she just fucking kills it. The reveals happen at the exact right time. Saphira's doing an excellent job, and there are a couple of reveals that happen there, and she does a very good job, but you can tell that she really gave her all in the solo performance earlier and not in the final lip sync. And even if I walked in knowing that I preferred Saphira as overall, Nymphia did, I think, win that lip sync. But I was like, but if we take everything into account, maybe Saphira could win. She did not. But the thing is, Nymphia is so amazing. And they also had never had an East Asian winner of the show in 16 seasons. So it's like, I'm never going to say that Nymphia didn't deserve it or that I'm upset that she won. But it just is like, you watch Saphira the entire season, you're like, that is a winner who, like, even the moments where she's in bottom two, she picks herself right back up. She got great feedback the entire time. I don't know. It just, they both were very deserving. And I just, one year would like the queen that I am rooting for to win. Because, last year I was rooting for Anitra, even though Sasha Colby was like the very clear winner from like the moment she stepped on stage. And then in the final performances, she just beat Anitra both times. So that was less surprising to me. But Saphira, I really think, started with the edge at the beginning of the night, and she did not win it. And it's okay. But someone is saying as soon as they gave Saphira Miss Congeniality, they were like, oh shit, she's not going to win.
It's like the second you hear that they're airing Best Urban Contemporary Album at the Grammys, you're just like, oh no, Beyonce's not winning.
So I am not upset because, again, Nymphia is an amazing performer, an amazing drag artist. But I really was rooting for Saphira, and that first performance was so unbelievable. She's going to be great. People are saying she's going to, kill it on All Stars. I've not watched an All Star season. I'm sure she will. She has a fan in me for life. She is so inspiring, so incredible, and I don't know, and just like was such a kind maternal figure the entire time to this group of queens who, of course, you're drag queens. You're going to be snarky. You're going to be a little tongue in cheek the entire time. You're going to be shady. But like whenever she saw someone who was even a little down, she was like, what do you want to talk about? Yeah. Let's discuss it. I'll help you with your costume. I'll help you with your performance.
Because everyone is going to go in there being like, I want to be the funniest one. I want to be the meanest one. I want to be the funniest one.
Yes.
And she's just like, oh no, I'm going to give you a different character. No one's going to go in trying to do this.
But to me, and I mean, maybe I'm just, But
it felt, I'm sure it was genuine as well.
It was so genuine. It was not even like a choice she was making. It just came, like, she's just a natural maternal person, and then like, her mom was also there. She was lovely. I don't know. I'm very happy for Nymphia, but one year I hope that the queen that I want to win wins, because I've now gone 2 years in a row where it's not gone my way.
2 years in a row.
2 years.
That's nothing, bitch. Are you fucking kidding
I've only been watching for 2 years.
Oh, come on. You act like that is long. You act like you're part of the tortured poets department, the tortured drag race viewers department.
I am.
Please, 2 years, get out of here. Do you know how many seasons of Big Brother when I'm just like, my favorite? Nope.
You've said you've like hardened to the point where you don't have favorites.
And that's what you have to do.
I can't
when
do
you
that.
watch a season of Big Brother, you have to essentially feel nothing. You have to be a journalist. You have to be Kirsten Dunst with the camera, okay? And you have to just be like, I'm watching this objectively. And then when the season's over, then you reassess and be like, who was my favorite?
I knew my favorite.
Because if you go in with a favorite right away, then you are just going to be disappointed.
Look, they were both my favorites at the very beginning, but then Saphira took the lead midway.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Guys,
I love them both. I'm happy for Nymphia.
No one can turn down a boba.
No, and the boba was really fucking good.
I mean,
it was really good.
The fact that you came out first as a boba is
it's just
the best.
Iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic. So that's, oh wait, I have another person I just need to discuss. And this is someone.
Were you about to ask Matt Steele what's been giving you moments?
No, I was about to say, is there anything else you want to tell people? But we're not there yet.
Oh, we're not there yet.
Because I think I was on my Instagram and I followed this very cool kid who has interviewed me for his podcast. And he was like, oh, I've been watching Two Gay Mats since junior high. He's like, you're so young, I can't. Okay. But he has great music suggestions. He's at Devin2Woke on Instagram, and this person popped up with a song and a music video that co-starred Florence Pugh. And I was like, oh, who is this girl? It was like this British black girl. Her name is Rachel Chinuriri. I want to say that's how it's explained.
Get it.
And I listened to this song called Never Need Me. This is like if Jamelia and like the Veronicas had a baby. Like it is very...
Oh, this is your dream.
It is very pop rock. It is very like, I'm giving you melodies. I am like telling a story. And the music video is so cinematic. And it's just like a late 80s, early 90s film. It is beautifully shot. And she's like an indie artist. I don't even know where she came from. But I Like her album now comes out in 12 days, and I'm so anticipating
Rachel
it.
Chinariri.
The single is called "Never Need Me." The Hills is also a great song. I think her new single is what it is. Our music video for "Never Need Me" features Florence Pugh. I don't know how they're friends, but guys, I am not leading you astray. Now that we've gotten Chappell Roan to be a giant megastar, Rachel needs to be fucking next. She is so insanely talented. Those songs are so excellent. We've needed a huge black pop star for the longest time, and I think she's that girl. I'm so excited for her album. Could not be more impressed with the single. Like when was the last time we had a pop rock black girl lead singer? Was it Fifi Dobson? Like it's been a long fucking time.
Fifi Dobson. Oh,
I remember.
That's all coming back.
Fifi was Canadian and Miss Rachel is British. And this song, I'm not suing you wrong, is so excellent. I cannot wait to see what she does next. Keep her name on your lips, Rachel Chinariri. I think when Beyonce gets ready to do that rock album and she wants to have a Blackbird-esque moment of like finding black musicians who already do rock music, call up Rachel.
Rachel Chinariri.
Amazing.
All
Amazing.
Right. Cool.
So that is, I can't believe I almost forgot to say that because I've literally been listening to like the 5 songs from her album that have been pre-released on loop all day. She's so good. I can't recommend her enough.
Okay.
Matt Steele.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to tell the people?
I don't think so. We'll see you in 24 hours.
And we'll see some of you tomorrow night for the second half of the Taylor reaction.
On our Twitch.
And for all the rest of you, we love you. Thank you so much for listening and or watching. We'll be back soon with more 2K Matt's the podcast.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Never Need Me. Yes, Jeff gets it. Jeff says, she came on my radar when Adele name dropped her during one of her shows. Rin says, a Matt P. Rec has never steered me wrong. Guys, I'm telling you, she's so fucking good. And I can't wait to hear what she does next.
Sweet.
A pop, rock, British black girl. I can think of nothing I want to hear more.
Oh, sure.
Nothing in the world.
And the fact that her last name is Chinariri.
Chinariri.
It's adorable.
Queen.
Love
Queen.
her. How old is she?
I don't know anything about her. I need to look her up. But all I know is that I love her.
Great.
Y'all should be music agents. I mean, I would love. I mean, I'm gonna do what I can do.
I'll take some of that cut. I'll take 10% of Rachel Chinariri streams.
Yeah, Lord. She's 25.
25.
Yes.
Great age.
Great age.
Great age.
English singer-songwriter. After posting numerous songs on SoundCloud, she began releasing music on major streaming platforms in 2018. Released her debut EP, Mama's Boy, in 2019 to critical acclaim. One of the songs from the EP, So My Darling, received attention on TikTok when it became a popular audio to use. Chinariri was signed to Parlophone. She released an album and she's set to release released an EP, set to release her debut album, What a Devastating Turn of Events, in 2024.
All right.
Everyone get ready.
All right.
Ray is black, but not pop rock, I guess. I was kind of thinking about her too a little bit, but yes. I was tempted to go to her LA show last month. Interesting. Oh, to be 25 again. Hello.
I just pre-saved her album. Can't wait.
Yes, everyone pre-save it.
All right, Rachel Chinariri.
Kweku says, I have the video lined up. I'm ready to be blessed. I'm so glad I can I can like tell people that you need to listen to these artists that are great.
Oh my God, you're giving it to the people.
I'm glad. I'm so happy to tell people about great artists.
Into existence.
I really am. I already deleted Twitch app off my phone. I guess I have to download it again. Lauren, we're going to be doing all of the music reactions, live ones there. So if you want to be there for those.
Yeah, you might want to keep that on.
Just keep that app. And I know it's annoying, but like we don't get taken down.
I know.
The power that you wield. I mean, I don't know if how many of you are going to hear this, but I just had to say it. Like I had to reach as many people as I could because that single is too good. The rest of the songs are great, but that one song, ooh, iconic. Iconic. All right, y'all. Has all the Swiftie fighting stopped?
Yeah, have we all calmed down?
Because people were angry.
I know. What's to be angry about?
I don't know.
We're all in this together.
We really are. We're
all tortured.
Yeah, we're all tortured poets.
Snaps for Aaron on Twitch.
Yes.
So apparently Florence Pugh reached out to her as a fan of her music, and Rachel asked her to be in the video.
Wow.
Imagine Florence Pugh
reaching
out to you, just being like,
I love your music.
I love your music. And it's like, what?
Good for you.
That's so cool.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love to see really talented artists finding their footing. And I hope this time next year, Rachel's on that fucking Coachella stage. And people are like, wow, she's amazing. Wow, she's amazing.
Yeah.
She could have her own good luck, babe. Icon. A lot of mutes happen tonight.
All right. Well, sometimes you just got to mute a Swiftie.
It happens.
I'm going to be on my iPad because Twitch seems to work best on
Yeah,
that
people
for me,
were
so-
saying that is that the app was working better than being on the desktop. I don't know why. Never had a pop girlie whose name is Rachel, such as iconic already.
There's Rachel Lee Cook in Josie and the Pussycats movie.
I believe there's a British artist named Rachel Stevens, but I don't know if she came from a girl group or if she was her own solo thing, but I'd heard of her.
Okay. There's Rachels out
There
there.
are Rachels out there. Rachel, Jennifer Aniston on Friends, she was Rachel.
She-
that haircut was a
she
pop
didn't-
girlie for a time.
Okay.
You know the
That-
Rachel?
That haircut had the most underrated album of 1997.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it did.
Save that Taylor mess for Twitter.
Where I've moved you to, that's funny. No Doubt didn't play any songs from Push and Shove. It's like they want us to forget that album. I mean, I get being a legacy artist and like pouring your heart and soul into like your new shit, and everyone's just like, play Don't Speak. Like it's just like you got to give the people what they want at a point. But
What's the best movie
of the 80s? Ooh, Matt Steele, what do you say?
Trying to think what comes to mind in terms of like 80s specifically. Oh, my favorite movie of all time, Parenthood.
Parenthood.
I forgot that's 89. Yeah.
Oh, Rachel was in S Club.
Oh.
Let's stop Swiftie fighting and start fighting about important things like best Bernadette Peters performances.
Yeah.
Oh, McKenna already followed Rachel on Spotify. Oh, listen to that single. I'm telling you, you're going to love it.
Main pop girl Rachel Berry.
Lord. I do feel like Jimmy always was a Glee cast album fan.
I mean, there's pop rock musical theater girls. They count.
They do. They do. Clue. Did you like Clue, the film?
Clue. Oh, I like Clue. Yeah.
Best movie of the 80s?
No, Parenthood. Parenthood is my favorite movie of all time.
All right. I'm hearing it.
Parenthood is my favorite movie of all time, literally.
Would I like it?
You've seen it.
Oh, have I?
Remember my, I think like 27th birthday we watched it?
I don't
I had
remember.
people over and we got pizza and we watched Parenthood.
I don't.
Okay, well, I guess we're going to have to do that again for my next birthday.
I remember when we watched Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah, that was my 30th birthday.
Oh.
Yeah. I made you sit through 3 hours or 3 hours.
That
and
was
however many
long.
minutes.
And I remember watching what was Sally Field and
Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, Steel Magnolias.
Yeah, that was for my birthday. That was
for your
in
birthday.
2012.
yes.
Yeah. I mean, and because all the people I'd lived with had never seen Steel Magnolias before, and I'm like, this is wrong. And then when I turned it off, you were all just like, okay, that was objectively great.
Oh, it was great.
That was objectively
great.
great. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I would say Steel Magnolias is also in there for top movies of the 80s for me.
All right.
Obviously, of course. Oh, and Amadeus. Oh my God. Now I'm just going to list movies from the 80s. Ordinary People. Oh my God. Okay, let's keep going.
Are you worried about the Dua Lipa album performance? I'm not worried. I think people are over like saying it's a flop. It's like it'll do fine.
Yeah, it'll
Her
do
music
well.
always does fine.
Yeah.
I don't want to compare, but I think this is the best scenario. LOL. Which Post Malone feature is your fave so far? Tays or Bees? Bees. And I actually don't love either of those songs.
I love Levi's Jeans.
He loves Levi's Jeans.
It's my song. Tick Tick Boom became my favorite movie so quick after it came out. I'm a huge longtime Rent fan.
Oh, Tick Tick Boom was excellent.
It's a fucking
I
excellent
love that.
movie. That movie deserved more.
2 hours, 9 minutes. Y'all beat the length of the Tortured Poets anthology. Yes, we did it.
Is Parenthood the movie that TV show was based on? Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, the
I didn't
TV
know
show
that.
is based off the movie. Cuppa from Steel Magnolias.
I don't remember that.
Cuppa.
Not
that.
No. That's my guess.
I like Future Nostalgia versus New Dua. They both sound
sound
like,
similar.
If you like one, you like the
Yeah,
other.
I like
I don't
the
know.
other.
I mean, this newer one's a little grittier, but
Yeah. Both good.
still,
If you
yeah.
like an up-tempo jam, then Dua's your girl.
Dua's like a warm hug. It's like I know what we're gonna get.
Yes,
It's not like we
exactly.
hit play and we're like, I'm scared.
Right, like what is this? It's like,
Yeah.
you know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Let's not forget about Moonlight as one of the best movies of the 80s. You mean Moonstruck? Yeah, another
I just watched
iconic Olivia
Moonstruck.
Dukakis performance. Best Supporting Actress 1987 and Best Leading Actress 1987. Moonstruck's excellent.
I just watched it over Christmas break this past year.
Norman Jewison also directed Fiddler on the Roof.
Oh, it's all coming
It's all
together.
coming together. Yeah. Dolly Parton's
Dessert recipe that was
that
explained in the
made
salon. Is that
Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
What's winning Best Picture at the Oscars?
This year?
Too soon.
Girl, I don't know.
Yeah, too soon.
I'm hoping that the Francis Ford Coppola movie can come out because he financed that entire thing by himself, and it's like $1 trillion, and apparently he's struggling to find distribution for it, and like it's all we movie people want, like is the Francis Ford Coppola movie.
All right.
That he produced himself.
What do you think of Espresso by Sabrina? I'm not watching it because I'm trying to have us have a reaction to it, but we do these things, I get so tired.
I know.
So maybe we'll do it a different day.
I know.
But at some point, we're going to put that on Patreon probably. So I'm waiting to listen to it. But I've heard good things.
Andrew deserved that Oscar for Tick, Tick, Boom, and I won't shut up about it.
He was great.
He's so great.
He and that long neck.
He took those vocals from here and it traveled through that big old neck, up, hurled it out at us.
That was a great. I like that movie a lot.
Yeah. It's premiering at Cannes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I hope it gets distribution there. Apparently, speaking of people who maybe need to edit, apparently people are just like, it's long and bloated, and I'm just like, great. So the thing is, like, when Taylor does it, I'm like, oh, I'm exhausted. But when like a filmmaker does it, I'm like, yes.
You're like, I'm in.
Fucking do it.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Coppola and Del Toro having trouble with money, which makes no sense. These are the directors, Hollywood. That's weird.
Yeah.
It's hard business.
The industry is hard.
It's hard.
Art isn't easy.
It's true.
So everyone see if it comes out so it makes money. so studios will want to produce more movies like that.
The new J-Lo movie, Flop or Watch. What movie? The visual album she put out? I haven't watched it.
Haven't seen it.
I don't know if she has a separate movie.
What do you think of Tinashe Nasty and Chloe Boy Bye?
I have not watched Tinashe Nasty or Chloe, but I do want to have a reaction to Chloe's because I really, really love the clip of Boy Bye that I hear all the time on her TikTok or whatever. So it's in the same Sabrina camp of I want to react to it and put it on Patreon. So I have not listened to it.
Thoughts on Joker 2 trailer? Looks good to me.
Still loved it. Yeah,
I'm excited. New Billie Eilish is coming. I hope she doesn't whisper too loud.
You know she will.
She will, but we'll have her headphones like this.
Yeah.
It's a movie too on Amazon Prime, I think.
Yeah, but it's a visual. No, not to be rude, but
it's a visual album. Yeah.
Film.
Because there's an album that came with it.
Yes.
I think, yeah. Tinashe's Coachella set was amazing. She's so underrated. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
We're about to bounce, but hi. Glad you could join us.
Thank you so much for coming right at the end.
Was Drag Race season better than this?
I think maybe this season was better. I think the contestants were stronger, and there was not a clear front runner from the very beginning, so there was more tension. And there was like weeks where someone you thought was going to go far, like just got sent home because they didn't do as well in the lip sync. And I feel like a lot of times they look at the entire trajectory of a queen, and this time it was like, well, you just lost the lip sync, so you're going home. So it's like, oh, that was the one that was when Plasma left, the musical theater girl.
Oh,
I know.
May she rest.
May she rest.
Come back for All Stars. Lord is coming in August. Okay.
Oh.
Do you think Zendaya will get an Oscar nom for Challengers? I mean, it'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I mean, it's so early in the year. It's hard, but I mean, people have won Oscars for earlier release dates. So,
has she ever been nominated for an Oscar?
No.
Okay. Let me out for Plasma.
I'm glad I caught a little.
Oh, yay.
We're glad you caught a little.
And yeah,
too.
you can replay it once this is done.
It's gonna be here. We're saying stupid shit. That's fine.
I love from New Zealand.
Hi, New Zealand.
All right, y'all.
I
gotta go pick up Chipotle.
Ooh, I gotta go to bed and then prepare myself for tomorrow's live stream listening party for Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department Part 2.
The anthology. We love you all. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next week.
We love you all.
Bye.
See us on Twitch tomorrow.
Yes.
Twitch.tv/2GayMats.
Do it.
Do it.